Is it young?
Started. 3, 2, 1.
Hey!
Yo, what's good? I am Cheza.
What are we looking at?
The late chasing. Don't worry about it.
And
I'm hip hop.
Okay.
oh, sorry, not N. And
DJ Bailon coming at you.
we are the Shot Club. So yes, as we do.
As always.
As always. What is this?
Isn't it you? So what's this first shot to?
I'm bringing suspense to the group.
Actually, so this is our last episode of the season. Last
Season
episode
4.
of the year. So let's take that to a good season. Oh, and
Season
Mo is
4.
missing because he is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you hear any coughing back,
We didn't want him in here. Yeah, contaminate us.
He's quarantined.
But yes, shots up to that too.
Season 4.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yummy.
Crown? What's a crown? Spidey senses are off today.
Spidey senses are off. It might be that gorilla glue.
Might have been. Might have been.
But yeah, so talking about Gorilla Group, how was your week?
My week was good. My week was good. Yeah, I'm getting back into the swing of things.
Okay.
Which is why I wasn't there Friday. Shout out to everybody that was
My righteous Faith Walker having a show.
S.
Yes, myself. And a whole bunch of other artists. There was a lot of artists. There were supposed to be 5. Oh, most bands. And July Soul Band.
Okay.
There are other artists, but too many for me to remember.
Yeah, it's a good week.
Good week.
Good week. Great weekend.
What'd you do?
So how did Gorilla Glue
Oh, really good.
decline into your week?
It was cool. It's a little bit more harsh than I thought it would be. But I like
It's a
it.
strong one. It's cool. It's Gorilla Glue for a reason.
Yeah.
Actually, we got Gorilla Glue the first time we got our sponsor. One
Yeah.
sponsor from BC. So Dwight tried it. He was like, yo. Next day he was like, bro, I couldn't move. I was like, whatever. I tried it. When I tell you, I was done. I was on the couch like this. I was like, this isn't right. It's called
good.
Gorilla Glue for a reason.
It's good.
For a reason.
It's good. But it was definitely the other side of the spectrum. I had some real smooth shit last week. But yeah, good week. Mr. Solomon, how was yours?
Mine was productive. Got a lot of work done. As you can see.
The Lions looking dope.
Yeah, it's coming together. And, I just realized that I don't like working for people. So
You just realized
Just
that.
realized that?
it's a real realization. I've been overthinking a lot of stuff. Like, do I go back to work? Or just call it quits? But I got a plan, so I gotta maintain it. By lungs.
Balon, how was your week?
A veritable roller coaster. I did a show Friday with your man Cesare here. Shout out to Righteous if you watch him.
See my full
With
name.
Faith. It was a good show.
Oh,
Was at Smiling Buddha, and the manager there caught up with me after to inquire if I was down for possibly in a resident DJ for them. So
Nice.
Okay.
So that was a nice compliment. Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice, sir.
Then I lost my phone in a taxi yesterday.
Was that because of Friday?
Did you look?
It was because Friday, and I went.
What did you do?
I got into the sake Saturday,
Uh,
and it was coming home from the Japanese place that I left my phone in the back of the car.
Sounds fun.
so there were highs and lows.
They were highs and lows.
There's the roller coaster reference.
And of course, the main event.
Well, main event. No,
You always got to go last in the weekly update. So
You guys chose me.
No.
no.
How's stuff work out?
You could have went first, sir.
I asked the first question.
I don't think you've ever explained your week first.
Because
In 4 seasons.
I gotta figure it out. I'm like, what did I do this week?
Is that how it works?
Pretty much.
That's why he always starts with it was all right.
It was alright. It was cool. Why not? So that whole be your own brand thing I'm doing with Iceberg. Okay. Picking up a little. Yeah, let's go. I'm doing like putting out shirts, sweaters every week.
Nice.
Are you putting out ugly sweaters as well?
Yes, the Shark Club does have ugly side.
Oh, okay.
If you look at our DJ in the back, he's rocking the Shark Club one.
Okay.
But yeah, so no, that's running, so that's been pretty good. And I had a show on Friday with Righteous. Wasn't happy with my thing.
Your performance?
What about it?
Like bro, like in my head, I flopped. I was like, I can't believe I flopped. Like first lyrics, straight up forget right it. I was like, this is like the easiest song. All I could think of like this is the easiest song. This is like my easy song. And I really forgot. So I got him to spin it back, and when he spun it back, then I got into it. But I was just like, no,
Play it off?
maybe not.
How you play it off?
I just kept going. Just kept going. Like, finish off the set. Like, but it was vexing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not happening again.
No? That's good to know.
But it's all within your preparation.
Good turnout.
The performance was a reflection of my preparation,
Right.
pretty much. So then, that's what I was thinking.
Right. How's the turnout?
Turnout was good. It was dope. It was nice. Getting with people, about 30, 40 in there.
Ah, at least, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it wasn't bad. It did its thing. But yeah, that was pretty much my week. And then today it snowed.
And then today it snowed.
Give it a chance.
And people are doing the dirty 30 on the highway.
What does that mean?
They're driving like 30 kilometers on the highway.
Oh, yeah. Honestly,
Yeah, as long as
I
people don't
prefer
get
they
into
do
it.
that. I prefer they do
Listen,
that
if
because
you want,
usually
I-
they're mad drivers. And they're
I'd
all over
rather
sliding over.
I'd rather you drive 30 in like the center to the right lane,
Yeah,
not the left lane on the highway.
yeah, that's
Because first of all, everyone who's driving in that lane should be driving at a certain speed anyways to pass and go over.
Yeah.
That's how you drive. But
As long as everybody's safe, man.
yeah, safety first.
Safety first. Everybody goes out on the roads. Please be careful. And
It's not that
be
bad.
attentive. Be
Yeah.
attentive.
It's not that bad.
no. It's like once you get on the highway, it's not bad, but those back roads, like, nah, man. Like where I live, like the townhouses, like they don't go in there. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
don't.
They don't bother. Well, if they do, it'll be tomorrow morning at like 5 a.m.
Right.
But right now, they're not bothering.
As long as it's still snowing on side streets, that's a problem.
But the highways, yes, because many people use it to clean, like, so you can take those. But yeah.
What is new in hip hop this week?
I don't know what's new, but hearing this reminds me of it didn't happen recently, but happened like internet recently. It was like a week ago.
Internet recently.
Cardi B did a freestyle.
Who
on her
is
grandma-
the internet?
I saw
No,
but yeah, I didn't see it. I saw that she did a freestyle. But I
She
didn't
did a
listen to it.
freestyle in her grandmother's house
Okay.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Cereal posted up.
Right.
You know, it's some regular hood shit.
Right. It's
Video.
cute. It's cute.
Does that work?
Did you watch it?
I watched it. Yeah,
How was it?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
So
I
then
thought
it
it was
works.
entertaining.
Then it worked because you're one of the hardest people to please on the internet.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, that guy. So if that guy was.
I thought it was interesting. Like, it just felt like she was going to visit a family member. Oh, let me just kick something.
Right.
Whether it was staged or not, or
Yeah.
because she's a major label artist.
Right.
She's, with a lot.
But she's also the person that doesn't give two fucks about anything or anyone's opinion. She's just gonna do what she gotta do.
Which is why even if it was staged, she's the perfect person to do it.
Yeah.
It's really dope.
Talking about stages, artists that enter the stage late.
Oh, you're talking about the Summer Walker debacle.
Are we still talking about it?
Well, we haven't talked about
We
it.
talked about it.
We've talked about it, but we haven't talked about it.
Yeah. It was kind of brought up last week. Summer Walker was in town. She did a show. There's some discrepancy as far as timing, how long she was on stage, how long she left people waiting, or management, or I don't know, man.
Because you said this morning that she's blaming a lot of people.
She did a
why she wasn't on stage at the right time, right? Because I think that she did about 45 minutes to an hour.
from what I've seen.
But she was in the city, enjoying the city before she jumped on stage.
That's true. I heard that she was held up at the border, though. It took long at the border.
well, that was part of it. She said her text, like part of the tech setup, like the band's equipment and stuff like that, they were held up at the border.
Okay.
But the way she was describing it was like she wasn't there with them.
Oh, so she was partying around Toronto, waiting for them to get here.
That's
Right,
what I'm
because
saying.
she's posting pictures with Drake. I was at the game that day, and Drake entered the game around like 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Okay.
So he missed the whole first half and most of the,
Yeah.
the third quarter. So he's already with her, right?
He's
She
already
might have been just now getting to her venue at the time he went to the ACC. I'm not calling that other name. And then, she went and got ready for her show,
Yeah.
right? Because by the time the game's over, she's still in on stage, right? Got to do makeup and all this hair, blah, blah, blah. Women take forever to get ready.
It'll take a lot of time.
I think that's also part of the problem.
Oh, it took her so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seemed like she was kind of giving information about what was happening, but it sounded a little sketchy. She already doesn't like being on stage. I'm at that point now with this story where it's just like, we get it. You don't want to do it. It's not really what you expected. Cool, but I just hope that people who are buying her music or buying the merch and the tickets,
Hey!
I'm just hoping that they're getting their money's worth and she's treating it, like a job still. Like, finish out your obligations. If it's something you don't want to do, cool. But
So, She Crazy said, all these laughy faces, Summer Walker. Malika London said, SC, hands up. And
what's up, She Crazy?
She Crazy, like she tried to say she wasn't hanging with Drake. They talked for 2 minutes and took a picture. That's what she said. Yeah. I don't know if that's true.
Okay. So this next shot, what's this next shot too?
Well, since Trace was late
Yeah, I was about to say I can't really say anything about it.
to time
Today, don't do that.
Yeah, on time.
Today,
to be on time.
Yeah,
right?
You hope making all your
Mostly in Summer Walker.
making all your fans wait. Here we go. Little Tracy. What is it? I don't know what it is. What's
Little Trey Whey protein.
Little Trey Whey protein.
Little Trey Whey protein.
There we go.
Yeah, he was in the studio.
That's why Little Trey Whey protein.
That's why I was late, and I was held up at the border.
Oh yeah, you were in the studio.
Yeah, I was held up at the border.
Shout out to Righteous. What up?
We didn't even talk about that during your week.
Yeah,
So,
you went to the studio.
what brings you back into the studio?
I was asked to be in the studio, so
Okay.
that's why.
What were you working on in the studio?
Check it out, y'all.
A feature,
Okay.
On
a song,
what kind of song?
a metal song.
That's what I was waiting for.
It's actually a metal EDM song.
Wicked.
That's cool.
Germany, metal bands from Germany, the EDM producers from Switzerland or Sweden.
So how did they link up with Trace Motivate?
A song I did with drummer of the band. His friend is a German metal band. So he's like, he liked it, so he's just like, I want to get a verse, 2 verses.
Okay.
Okay, that's why you're in the studio 2 days.
No,
You were in the studio today?
not
No,
today.
he's just
no.
like he's playing Summer Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
My
how do you feel?
inspiration.
How do you feel about it? Like, this is
Interesting.
pretty much a new lane, right?
Interesting. I mean, like, we kind of say it here and there, especially when we have artists. You never know who's listening to you.
Right.
You never know who likes your stuff. So I got a call like, hey, do you want to be on this metal song? Sure, let me hear it.
Yeah.
It's something new, it's something different.
Right.
And I think we don't always have to do something that's never been done. We just have to do stuff we haven't done.
Right.
So, to yourself, there was like no pushback, like, nah, I can't do a metal song.
No,
Or
not
it
at
was
all.
like straight up, like, right away, let's go.
Not at all.
Now, did you have your verse prepared before going there? Or you
Oh,
went
yeah.
there?
Oh yeah. No, I don't like being in the studio when I don't have stuff done.
Unless he's in the studio with us.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun part of doing our project.
Right.
So
Because no, that is the fun part. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And we just off the cusp. And some moments, those ideas, those sync. It's like actually it's funny. I find it weird. Like I really find it weird that when we listen to a beat and everybody's like, yeah, that's the beat, and we don't discuss the topic, we don't discuss an idea pretty much. It's like that's the beat. Let's just start, and we all just start pretty much writing.
True.
And then when we all start spitting our verses out, everyone's pretty much on the same fucking page. And it's like it's kind of weird.
Well, there's one song you can say, which was the Shot Club with everybody.
Hey, Mo Littles is here.
Hey yo, Steve, what up? Mo Littles. Oh, yeah.
Mo, don't throw up.
What to do, Steve?
Whatever you do, don't throw up.
Yeah, what song?
But get better.
But the one that Delano, Dwight, my brother produced.
Yeah.
That one that came in with an idea itself, or
Yeah.
like, specifically.
That one came with
the
the
Shot
specific
Club, like
idea.
intro type shit. But yeah.
It's dope.
That was cool though, man.
Well, we gotta get back into that. Honestly, we have a whole bunch of that. We actually just need to be.
Master.
Well, now that we have some time off,
Yeah, so we will have that time off going from now.
we should call it the rehab.
year.
The rehab.
Should
When
we?
we're not drinking, we're
Should we?
recording.
Well, we're not drinking or recording, but aren't we drinking while we're
Yeah,
recording?
this is true.
Yeah,
You know.
but it gives it a little touch. Like, yeah, once it comes up.
What's something you've heard recently that's because me,
Actually,
I hear some certain stuff and then I want to get back into it. What have you been
not
listening
music wise, but I heard. You listen to Stormzy, the UK artist?
Well, not a lot, but I did listen to his new one with Burna Boy and Sheeran.
Okay. So actually, that is the song where the story comes from.
Okay.
So for that song, he was offered a Jay-Z verse.
We didn't even set that up.
So for that song, he turned down a Jay-Z verse. So when he was in the studio, it was him, Ed Sheeran, Jay-Z. So Ed Sheeran's like, yo, Jay-Z, put a verse on this. And he was like, well, I don't know, because what's the name of the song?
Bravo, what's the name of that song?
Something about London.
I did something
Like being from London or something like that.
I wouldn't say that.
But so
That's
he's saying,
the concept.
sorry, Own It.
Own it. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
There's another one.
That's the one they shared a vertical with.
That's the one that's out right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it
they
could
have
be
a
another
song
one
in the
from
video.
before.
Okay.
Because this one was based on being from London.
Right.
Oh, she
So-
crazy.
Oh,
That's
Take
a
Me
song.
Back to London is an Ed
There it
Sheeran track.
There it is.
I think it's an Ed Sheeran track and maybe Stormzy's on it. I
No,
think
because
it's a
Stormzy's the one that
track.
turned down the Jay-Z track.
Oh, really?
Verse, yeah.
Yeah,
He
Take
went up
Me
to
Back
Jay-Z
London.
and it was just like
I think it should happen.
this is like a chance in lifetime to get a Jay-Z verse, but I don't feel like you would fit this song because it would take the British feel away from it, type thing.
Right.
But then later on, he said he saw Jay-Z down the line because in his head he was like, fuck, I just turned down the Jay-Z verse.
Right.
Like, this could never happen again. This is possibility. It could
Never
never
happen
happen again.
again.
Like, and I just really did it. So he saw Jay-Z down the line and Jay-Z's like, yo, I respect you. Like, and I'm happy that you stood up for your art. Like, I respect you for standing up for your art in that way.
Right.
So, but yeah.
You never know when you have to be. Well, I'm not gonna say you never know, but there's gonna be times where you have to kind of put your foot down,
Yeah.
no matter how
But a Jay-Z verse,
how you
like,
think later on it may do something for you. You have to kind of stand up for it.
Right.
Like you guys have had that.
Flocko, what to do? I always have these
What's up,
moments,
Flocko?
man. I always have these moments where I gotta stand up for who I am.
especially like the chorus project I'm doing. I had to take out some verses, like I really had to, and it just didn't sound right. So it's like, no, I've been through that.
That's interesting.
Nah, Steve, I never got a paper cut. I wear a thimble on my thumb. Steve asked me if I got a paper cut.
From
Clerk and shit.
some work shit.
What have you been listening to though? Like,
You know what I've been listening to.
hey, you played some shit the other
Actually,
day.
I've been listening
I had to
Yo, shout
I
out,
had to,
shout out FAFOBLO, whatever is how you're.
I listened to the album. I wasn't too fond of it.
It was not bad, man. He has a few cuts on there.
It's a
That,
decent Fab album. Like,
he got a few cuts on there. What's his name?
Where's he from?
No, the other dude.
What's that album?
No,
Conway.
it's a game.
Where's he from?
I think it's Dave. I'll pull it up.
Dave East.
No, Dave East. Shout out Dave East for being dropped for selling so many copies, less than 3,000. He's a man.
That's not.
He really got dropped, or is that just?
He got dropped.
I never-
They
I
actually
never
said
looked
he
it up.
sold 17,000.
His first week was less than 3,000 copies.
No, the first week was 17.
That's what it came out to?
Because I was like, is this real? Because I saw that he sold less than 3,000 copies.
What up,
Right.
Renee?
Like, this doesn't make sense.
Renee says happy.
So like back and forth watching, then
Smoke.
they thought it was going to be between 3,000 to 15,000,
Right.
and then it came out that he sold 17 in his first week.
Smoke Daz and Currency. That project's nice.
Smoke Dizzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Smoke Daz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That project's nice.
I've been checking Smoke Dizzle for a minute. He's dope. Shout out to Renee. She said happy December 1st.
Oh, yeah, what it is?
December 1st,
Yeah.
What does that mean, though?
It's December
Oh,
1st.
she's into Christmas.
Celebrate the first day.
Is that what
She's
you
into
do?
Christmas.
I don't know.
Renee, are you into Christmas? I see a snowman in your.
Yeah, there was a snowman, so.
Yeah.
But celebrity girl, so she loves the snow. Can say, well, not glow like snow, like.
We're not thinking that.
You guys are looking at me. Jocelyn says hi, David.
Hi, Jazzy.
Bye, Long. What you been listening to?
Those Stormzy tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of grime. That new Stormzy joint I was playing earlier. Haven't really found anything. We just listened to it. That Gangstar
Yes.
album dropped last week, so I took that in.
How was that?
Dope. Okay. There's like 4 or 5 pretty dope tunes on it.
I
But
gotta give it another listen.
I took one. I took Bad Name to be like in my playlist. I think that was the best one. But yeah, I've only with it once.
Jazzy, what about you? What's on that iceberg list?
Actually, I haven't updated that in a while, man. Been focused on like putting out this project, the 7OG, so and especially with the co-drive and everything.
Yeah.
Like I just learned that like somebody I grew up with was seen the other day, like strung out on opioids. It was like even though I did that shit with like co-drive, I'm just like, yo, there's gotta be other stuff I could do. So that's pretty much what I'm focused on.
You trying to be
Wow,
a humanitarian?
You can't really
I
talk
don't
about
know, man. I don't know if it's humanitarian. It's just like being a human. Like people are struggling, you just like you do what you can to help, right?
Yeah.
especially around
Focus on Toronto. I couldn't do that, man. It's too big. Like, and it's like I believe like it'll be because being from Sudbury, I know the ways around. I know the other people. I know the reach. I couldn't do that in Toronto because I don't know. I would have to find the people that know the people.
Right.
So it's like that much more of a thing.
Well, it's always good to know who's inside the circle.
Right.
It's always good.
very good, very
That's
good.
true.
Very good, Daniel.
Once you know who's inside the circle, shit usually starts to happen for you.
And who would you know within the circle, sir?
Well, we did have one member of the circle.
We did.
We did.
And we're going to have to bring him back.
We're going to bring him back because he's just dope. He had a lot of stories.
He had a lot of stories, and we didn't get to really present him right to the people. I think we should do that season 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we can reach out. We know some people within the circle.
We know some people within the circle.
we know some people.
Hey! You know, since we're talking about the circle.
And great timing, sir.
Perfect.
Why is that perfect timing? Should I move?
We should move over because one of the members of the circle,
The legendary.
the legendary circle clique, circle crew is here. Mr. Roll Dollar, one of the dope rapper. I just found out Skater Kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got some stuff to talk
You gotta
about.
talk about that.
Producer.
Producer. Yeah, MC.
I look at the circle like our version of TITC. Because you have producers and MCs. You have MCs, you have producers. There's all this creative shit going on.
Yeah.
And like you said, we got some great stories from Shaka. I think we're gonna have some great stories today too.
Let's find out.
Our guest today, Roll Dollar.
Yes.
Go on, man.
Let's go, bro.
Okay.
All right. So before we get into anything,
Just post that up, bro.
let's see. All right. So what are we taking this shot to?
Health, success, life.
There you go. More life.
Here we go.
Double tap. Here you go. Okay.
More money.
So, Mr. Roll Dollar,
Yes.
how did you start in this game?
So I actually heard you mentioning a certain circle member. So I'll elaborate on that. So Mr. Chaclair. I met Chaclair. We went to the same high school, so John Paul.
Okay.
High school in the East, Scarborough. So met him in French class, grade 9 French class.
Mandatory class.
And there was another member of his group at the time that went by the name of Phil Behavior.
Okay.
And Casey Thomas. So what happened is I walk into the room. Casey is beating on the desk, the typical. And Kareem wasn't there at the moment, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go into the back of the class. I don't want to get kicked down or labeled or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went to the front of the class.
When he says Kareem.
Oh, Chaclair.
Yes.
Hey!
Distraction.
We gotta show the fourth wall. We gotta break through the fourth wall.
Right. So anyways, he was late coming to class,
Okay.
and the only desk that they had was the one beside me. So sat beside me.
Fate.
Blah blah blah. Long story short, now we're in I think grade 11, and KC heard me rapping in the hallway.
Okay.
But I wasn't a rapper or anything like that,
Yeah.
right? It was just something that little hobby thing.
Yeah.
But he overheard me,
Right.
and he's like, "Yo, I never knew that you can, And I'm
That's
like,
good.
oh no, it's not anything. Whatever. He goes, no, come to practice. I'll tell Kareem, come to practice, blah blah blah. So went to the first practice, and then he's like, yo, so KC was telling me blah blah blah. Let me hear some things. He goes, yo, you have something, and I really think that you should actually pursue it more than a hobby.
Yeah.
So my first experience in the studio was actually with him, and he was doing stuff out of his manager at the time, Dave, out of his house.
Engineer.
At the engineering.
Legendary.
Yeah, so that was my first time at the studio, and once he heard me, he was like, "Oh, you need to come back," and then we just snowballed from there.
Now, at this point, who else from the circle do you know? Whether you know them for their art or just know them.
At the time, though, I didn't know anybody until I would say grade 12, and that was Sox.
Okay.
And that was because Kareem Chaclair, he was already friends with Sox and already doing whatever they were doing.
Right.
But the time that I met him was I just at the studio, just a leisure thing.
Yeah.
But then the time that I actually officially met everybody else was there was a program going on in Toronto by the name of Fresh Arts.
Okay.
I heard about it last minute,
Right.
but I still wanted to join. So the day that I went to go see if I can join was actually the last day.
Right.
And it just so happens that, okay, I'm there, okay, just chill. I heard a new Sox, Shox brought me through there. And then at that time, I believe Cardi was there, Marvel was there, Solitaire was there, Wildlife was there. I think Julie was there. I'm not sure if Julie was there, but all the other men then were there. Like Scrupulous was there, Andy Randall was there. So everybody was there, basically, and they had I guess, final farewell cipher.
Right.
Someone has a tape because I know someone was taping.
Well, we need this.
Right? I know someone was taping.
We need
Why
this.
is this on
So I don't know, but anyways, I did mine first. Or
It
whatever.
sounds like somebody doesn't want this footage out.
no,
This is history. This is
well,
this
well,
is
well, you know what? I know no one didn't really do any flop type of things or whatever, right? But I know that he didn't. It was just a whatever thing,
Right.
So
It's not.
well, that's
At that time,
Who's on this tape?
I know I'm on it. I know Marco's on it. I know Shox is on it. Kareem, I know he's on it. I know Cardi's on it.
This is fire right now.
I don't know what the play is.
I can't remember.
I know what the play is.
Do
This
you?
is crafty. I know. There's a reunion coming up.
Is there?
There's a reunion. Come on,
Yo,
man.
I'm telling you
Come
right
on.
now, a circle reunion would
Yo,
be fantastic.
circle reunion and documentary.
That would be
Come on, these
That
guys.
would be
it's
fantastic
cool.
right now.
You're good. You're good. I like you.
Well, it's not an incense scoop, but in regards to the documentary, I was approached about it, and I believe the first person to spark it in my ear was Ian Andre Espinal. I think he was the first one
was on the
to,
show.
Yeah. So I think he was the first one to actually spark the idea, right? And I'm like,
It makes
I
sense,
don't
man,
know.
because that's history. Man.
I don't know,
That
like,
is-
you know,
Like outside of Maestro, and Mishi.
oh
we
well,
need to be on the show.
no. Well, the thing is
Y'all
that
made the circle made a huge
Next to-
impact
next to
on
Monolith?
this industry.
Next to Monolith, I don't think there's a crew base that big that could tell a story and properly document our history because we need stuff like that.
well, okay, this is chocolate, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if the country or most importantly the city knows this, right? But at the time, our crew, stateside,
Right.
and people within it, like say like, you know, A&Rs or like people that were inside of the structure, right? More so stateside. We're kind of looking at our crew like the North Wu-Tang,
Right.
per
Makes
se,
sense. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And based on affiliation now, based on other players that Big was able to touch certain members, right? They can see the direct correlation because even in Wu-Tang, Ghostface wasn't the only person holding down Wu, right? It was almost like everybody was holding down Wu simultaneously,
Yeah.
right? And everybody had their position. And then when it came time for Voltron to create, whoever had the arm, the left arm, the leg, the whatever, and boom, 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 and that was, that's what made Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
So not many people really understand that within our crew, all the top tier recognizable artists at the time were from my crew.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's no excusing it. So you have Choclair,
Yeah.
you have Socrates,
Yeah.
you have Julie Black,
Yeah.
you have Terry Chase,
Yeah.
you have
Cardinal.
Solitaire,
Yeah.
you have Cardinal,
Yeah.
you have Wylook,
Yeah.
you have Anthem Vandal,
Bro,
you have Marvel. Oh yeah, you know,
IRS.
and last but not least.
Was IRS official?
No, but
Or
like,
the-
but IRS is like, like they're the man from the east, so like, we kind of like always hung out and this and that and whatever. So that's how like the whole tracks integration with BBL kind of happened with Big Black Lincoln.
Right.
Because it was like, it's kind of like another branch off the same tree type of thing, but the tree itself was a circle.
Yeah.
Right. And the circle itself was like, I would say like the first, if you're going to look at the University of Music within Toronto at that time for what was going on, we were like the first graduating class.
Right.
The second graduating class that was taught under our tutelage was Drizzy and those guys. Right. Because 40 used to hook up studio equipment and stuff for Sox when Sox was doing his shit. Right. And I remember him answering phones at Studio 306, which is a monumental studio. It's no longer there. Right. But name the artists in Toronto, they recorded there.
Yeah.
Just name it, any genre, they recorded.
Tyson used to do a lot of this.
Yeah, and Tyson was also Gadget's prodigy. Right. So it's Gadge. It was Tyson, 40, Gordo. Right. And I think those are his three primarily, but I think like the two is 40 and Gordo.
Yeah.
It was like, side by side, right? Which is why Gordo and 40, or I say Gordo is a part of, the whole OVO thing. He gets, to do certain mixing projects here and there and blah, blah, blah. So he's still integrated within that fold, right? So we come from that class, right? So, and at that time, not to say that anybody else wasn't doing anything in the city or whatever, but it was like the primary attention was anybody from our group.
Right.
So if Cardi wasn't doing something, Julie was
Doing something.
and if Julie wasn't, then Socks and blah 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 and blah blah blah.
Do you feel like I've mentioned this before that I feel that I don't think you guys reached out enough outside of the circle?
Well, here's the
Hey!
Where's that shots now?
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, yo.
Oh, yeah. That's
squatting.
That's what we got. Eggy Azalea.
Oh, Eggy was squatting.
Eggy Azalea.
See?
Lets us know when we can take our
I
shots.
know.
Yeah, Eggy tells us that.
Right?
Mylon has to spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel,
What are
Valo.
we doing now?
Oh, he's gonna see if he's gonna take a shot with us.
Okay.
Have a
Have a
shot.
shot.
Hey. I'll do my solo though.
Hold on. We were about to get into it. Toast something. What do you propose? Take this.
Okay. Someone else does a toast.
Someone else?
Yeah.
Trace.
Let's do this shot to the legacy of the circle and all their upcoming projects that they're not announcing yet. What's something about the circle that people don't know that they should know? As far as your legacy goes, misconceptions.
Oh, that we never wanted to collab with anybody within the city at the time. And it wasn't because of that.
Right.
It was more so for the fact there was Sox was doing stuff, Cardi's doing stuff, Wild's doing stuff, Solitaire doing stuff. So as a team,
Everyone's working.
yeah, and we're just supporting the team. Like, so whatever the teammate needs, it just needs. We weren't segregating anybody out or whatever.
Right.
But the way that we were working, we weren't really thinking about anything. So if Julie was in the studio and it just so happens that we were gonna say, like, me and Sox were gonna go in there at 8, Julie was already there at 4. If we got there at 5 and we would listen to whatever, if we can fill in or do whatever, that's just what it was. And then if she knew that we were doing something, she would just stick around.
Right.
And next thing you know, she's there for 3 hours, 4 hours behind the time that she was gonna be there. And then now she's jumping on
Your project.
and it just kept on going like that and going like that and going like that. So it was only at a time, and you know, because we know certain people and we had a rapport with certain people. It's not that they let us know, but we kind of let it be known that, hey, if you ever need us for anything, like, we're willing to, you know, work, like, or like, you know, collab or whatever. It wasn't even a thing like that. But I think because of the stigmatization that we were getting that we never saw ourselves, which was like, these are the guys that are gonna bust Toronto per se.
Yeah.
We never saw it like that. So I guess people from the outside were kind of seeing it and we're kind of feeling like, oh, they're hogging it for themselves in a way. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like you guys had to set up like the Baseline Studios in New York. Like,
Yeah,
it's just you guys were always there
Yeah, it was
in that
kinda
one
like
studio,
always
so you're
there.
just going
Yeah,
room
yeah.
to room to room.
Yeah, and even like Mono Mandem, Iris Mandem, even like Jellystone and stuff is from the same school, right? It's from the same fraternity house or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's still he's still down with OVO and them. So like he knows them, and everybody doesn't know. Like you could just come by the studio, you would catch one of us there.
Right.
Like without a question, you would catch one of us there. And primarily me, like because me and Sox were like this, like basically like this, right? We were always leaving the studio at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So there wasn't even a time that you couldn't even catch anybody.
So I guess it's more so like it's the younger cats that were really trying to come up that didn't understand that that's really all they have to do is be in the right spot.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
Yeah, and the thing is that none of us were non-approachable.
Right.
So it's not like anybody couldn't have talked to them.
Yeah.
But then that kind of plays into the whole screw face type of thing, where you kind of like feel like a way is like, I'm not gonna go and talk because they feel like they're so whatever because blah blah blah. And it's like no one was thinking like that. No one was in, whatever.
Since you brought up the screw face, do you think that whole screw face mentality is changing, Toronto?
No, it's kind of like still there.
Okay.
It's kind of like still there. Like so for instance, look at it this way. You have Maestro, Mitch, Mishi, all of them. So if you look at a garage door, right? So you have Maestro, Mishi, both of them. They raised the garage door to about like here, Then it was me, Socks, Cardi, blah 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 blah. We kind of raised the garage door a bit more.
Yeah.
But still, it was a heavy garage door.
Right.
And out of nowhere, you know, Drizzy just says, "Yo, off the door. Just fling up the door now." And then just bust the door.
Yeah.
So theoretically, everybody on every genre, on any level, I don't care what you do in life, should just be going through the door. Right? But for some reason, there's still a stigma attached. Like, because he's the one that did it, people feel ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like,
It's weird.
that's so dumb.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who did it.
Yeah.
As long as the doors
If the
flop
door's
open, like, who cares who did it? Right?
It's like being a prisoner.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And someone breaks open the door and you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't let the person.
I'm gonna stay here, Sid.
Well, everybody's like,
Yeah.
what?
Everybody's
Running by
what?
you, like, what?
You know how long I've been waiting for a steak, bro? You're gonna sit yourself like and hold your nuts. Like, Richard, I'm out of this place.
It's true.
Right? And that's the premise. Like, he's walking with the same premise that we were walking. Like I said, it's the same school, it's the same fraternity house, it's the same university, right?
Yeah.
All of us came from the same branch, right? So it's like, and everybody had the same thing. So it didn't matter if Jelly bust the place, it didn't matter if Ghetto Concept bust the place, it didn't matter who bust the place. As long as the place was bust,
Yeah.
everybody was good, and everybody was on the same path anyway.
Well, let's stay on that then. Usually I'll do my little top 5 and top 10. Give me top 5 songs that you think really were instrumental in putting us on.
Oh shit! Easy
Give me
on
5.
the Motion, Ghetto Concept, Let Your Backbone Slide, Maestro Fresh West, Jamaican Funk, Michie Cardinal Bacardi Slang.
Okay. I'm ready for that one.
That shit was fire. Said that summary, here McCarthy slang. I was like, yo, he talks like me. I was like, yo, he talks like
I would say Sean Claire, Let's Ride.
There we go.
Oh,
That's what I was waiting for too. I was waiting for that one. 'Cause that one, those last 2 songs,
Yeah.
bang hard.
Okay, here's a little history thing. Since I'm live, and I need to like say this, if she was watching, whatever. I saw my boy Brigante right there, Bishop. I see you know, done know East Side always. You know, pop, pop, pop. You already done know. See, Miss She Me.
We've been trying to get on the show.
Miss She Me.
Bishop Brigante.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get Bishop on the show.
Okay,
too.
We didn't get Bishop on the
No,
show.
he's coming.
No, I'm saying we didn't.
He'll come.
No, the funny thing is,
If
at
he's
the end
watching right now and I just said he'll come, he'll go.
end of season 2, we had Gully.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Gully. We were trying to get Bishop.
Yeah.
Gully came through.
What
Nate Sosa came through.
Yes.
Nate Sosa. So yeah.
But we're gonna get him. But yeah.
We had Maestro on here. We tried to get Mishi to have the
Which is the next one? We'll get it. We'll get it.
Socks. We were talking Socks.
Yeah, Socks hasn't
So-
shown up.
But
But with
Mishi.
Michi now. So I remember as a kid, and you know, wife is in the house, so she knows. So I remember when I was a kid, and here's another fun fact that people don't know. A lot of my main influences within hip hop are female hip hop artists, right? So Queen Latifah is on one of my top. Like if you're talking top 10, she's in my top 10. MC Light is in my top 10. Moni Love is in my top 10. And Miss Me is in my top 10. Okay, I'm just letting that you know. Like those 4 women are in my top 10. Okay, so I remember when I'm seeing Ladies First.
Yeah.
Right? The video with Queen, right?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, you know, Queen. Right, and I had a little crush on Queen. I'm like, yo, Queen, bro. Then when he did the pan shot, and they showed all the female rappers at the time that was kind of busting, right? And I think the only one that wasn't in there was MC Light, right, at the time, right? So they're doing a pan shot, and I'm just watching it. And doing this so Missy, not Missy. Yo,
Yeah, you're right.
Missy!
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yo, so it's over!
Yeah.
Toronto's here, bro!
Yeah.
It's over. She's like queen, like it's over.
It was big. It was actually big.
After that, like my hypeness for like what we were coming with in the city, like nobody could tell me nothing.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Like respect you want.
Hold on, wait. Right on.
A little bit of blood. A little bit, not too much.
Jeez. Yo.
All right. Back to
Okay.
the story.
So, anyways, that's my like, little thing.
Yeah.
Bishop, if you're watching, I don't know if you're watching, but Bishop, she done know still. Let her know.
If we can get a bit of that sazon, a bit of a complimentary word about the shot club from you, that would work out great for season 5.
Season 5. So, Mishi, once again, don't know if you're watching this, but please, you need to come by the shot club and speak your legendary status for the entire city and now the world to now know. Okay?
I promise I'll propose before or after Georgia show. Don't worry about it.
Don't scare her away. We're trying to get her
Yo, trust me. Honestly, like if I was a real money man, anytime I see Mishi, I'd make sure I just do a 1-2 rose petal.
Coming to America.
Yeah, for real. Because I'm telling you, when I saw that, I'm like, yo, like Maestro is doing his stuff, right? It's kind of like the same thing. So Maestro raised the boom, and then when I saw that, hey! So when I saw Michi doing that, I'm like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Yeah. Oh my God, it's over. Who's talking to
the
us?
Queen of New York, the Queen of Toronto, the Queen
Who's
of Canada.
talking
And the
to
thing
us?
about it is, she was down with Flavor Unit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Well,
Yeah, Flavor Unit is Queen.
well, Queen Latifah, like she's down with Flavor Unit, but
She was down with them early, right?
yeah, but it's not Flavor Unit. It's another. Forgive them, but
No, she was on a compilation early. DJ K Love.
Is it
Am I wrong? I could be off. I gotta do
Bishop
my.
knows. Bishop, if you're still watching, let me see.
She was on a compilation early.
Yeah.
But Michi been.
Yeah. So
we're gonna do this first. This female MC.
Yes.
Michi Me.
Shout out to Michi
Well,
Me. Forever.
True again, like in being in Sudbury, Michigan, when she dropped Jamaican Funk,
See?
again it was like she talks like me. I'm like,
Yo.
what the hell?
And Michi Yachty. And Michi Yachty.
Yeah.
See? So you done know Michi Yachty. See? All right.
Here we go.
Now,
before you get your question, what was the first record you recorded?
Oh, shit. That I can't remember. But the first early recordings was when Choclair and his partner at the time, Casey Thomas, they had a compilation thing. I think when What It Takes came out for Choclair, and he had something called the Ill Be Remix. And then there was, little remixes of that.
Yeah.
And I remember I did the entire skits for that. So all the skits for that EP thing I did. And I think I did one appearance on that. Then after that, I think my next appearance was on a track with Frankenstein.
oh man,
Yeah, so I did something with Frankenstein.
that's another name that doesn't get brought up enough.
Yeah, Italiano Frankiano. Yeah, so that was like I think my second. But I'm like an artist, right? So think of your artist. So like say like a Pharrell or a Miguel, Andre 3 Stacks.
Some big names.
Yeah, like I'm an artist. So meaning what I mean by that is that I already know that I'm gonna have music in the vault per se, right? But if anything that I'm gonna paint on the wall to say, okay, this is my painting for you to purchase or to admire or whatever, it has to be on a certain type of level, right?
You're your own biggest friend.
Yeah, and it's not even a pat on my back per se. In a way, it is because I've learned how to now do that. But it's kind of like a pat on my back, per se, to say that I don't think, and you can even verify, or anybody can verify that knows my stuff, is that I what you call, I bat on an AB average. So I don't throw out music that's less than 85%. Right? So if you hear anything from me, if you don't say, oh, this is a hit, you're still gonna say, yo, this song is fire.
Right.
You're still gonna say something. You'll never say, that was all right. You know, that was right? Because what you're now seeing, even with Drizzy's longevity and the school that we come from, you know, Jelly, Ghetto Concept, you know, all of us where we come from, is Gadget. He always told us, it's like, hey, if you're not in the studio to make music to last 15 years and beyond, you're wasting your time.
Wow.
So it doesn't even matter if it's a freestyle.
Right.
If the freestyle is not potent enough to last 15 years and beyond, you're wasting your time.
If you get yourself,
You're
like,
wasting your
I
time.
really don't like, when I write, I really like putting references to this year.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
it kind of loses that.
You can stay in the studio and the reference and cut and paste and move around and whatever. But if you're gonna hold in the vault or if you're gonna release, it has to be 15 years and beyond.
Yeah.
Here's an example that I found out. You know, the legendary Prince, God rest his soul, Prince. There was an interview that I saw, I think it was in the Rolling Stones or whatever, and they were asking about his writing and producing process. And he basically said that so he writes it, he produces it, he arranges it, he mixes it, he masters it, then he listens to it. And then if he feels that it's not worthy to go within the vault or out for the universe or for people to hear, he erases it. So here's a fact, if anybody didn't know that when it came to Prince, okay? There's a lot of things that man created that we will never even hear because he deleted it.
My cousin Wong.
It's crazy because you know that we have a lot of
Dilla
things we
does the
haven't
same
heard,
thing,
we haven't heard
right?
because he
Shout
has
out
a
to
vault.
Frank and Dank too, the
Yeah.
right?
My cousin Wong, the same thing. He said when he starts to make a beat, if he doesn't vibe that beat within the first 2 minutes, he scraps it.
Because what people don't understand, like when you're doing music or anything creative, and people always have a misconception that it has to be music or painting or something to be creative. Once your mind thinks on an idea to change something different, you're in a creative space. So it doesn't really matter. Even if you're a writer or even if you're a carpenter or a plumber, I don't care what you are. But when you find an idea in which you can kind of maneuver and figure out a certain way to even get to the screw or to get, you're in a creative process. Right?
I like that you went there with it. What was the first thing you started with? Because you produce as well.
Oh, so piano.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the first instrument that I learned was a piano. So my mother always believed in she always liked the piano. So she always wanted to see like a child, you know, doing the clink or whatever, right?
You know I'm smiling?
Sorry.
You know I'm smiling, sir?
David says
You know I'm smiling, right?
a person cannot be a producer.
He said something very vital, sir. He
Right.
said the first instrument I learned. Not the instrument I learned.
And that wasn't
first.
And that wasn't
Which
that
means
wasn't
that there's
anywhere else.
more than one.
Oh, okay.
But
And
then
that
said
was-
a producer isn't a real producer if he can't play an instrument. At least one. If he can't
Well,
play at least one instrument.
In a way, and in a way not. Because so how can I say this? So even if you're classically trained in any instrument, right? I don't care if it's a flute or a clarinet, it doesn't really matter. From when you're classically trained in that instrument, when you hear of certain musicians in time that have had who's a good example?
Then whatever.
Beethoven or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever, right? Okay, theoretically, everybody is on par with their theory.
Yes.
But in life, everything is based on feel.
Right.
So even if a producer does not know, okay, remember drumline? Remember Nick Cannon with the drumline? It's the same shit. He never knew how to read sheet music.
Yeah.
But based on the feeling and what it was transitioning within him, that's what he was
Yeah.
doing the thing, right? So there's a lot of musicians out there that a lot of people know that are not classically trained or even trained in shit. They're not whatever.
Yeah.
But based on the feel and based on the hearing of the sound or whatever they've developed for their creative process is what is enabling them to produce whatever they produce, right? So like even look at Sox. Sox is classically trained in the violin, right? So from the violin, he knows theory within piano, and within and then timing and signature, and then within that, for him to pick up guitar, same shit because it's a string instrument, right? The only difference between the two is that it's not a cheat code, but with the guitar, it's kind of like a cheat code because you have the frets, so you have the lines within the thing. Okay, perfect. That's what I'm saying. Perfect. That's what I'm trying to say. So with the guitar, let's look at this as reference, and everywhere you go like, now I know what he's talking about.
You should be charging you guys for this knowledge, but anyways, go ahead.
So within, say, playing the guitar, you have what you call frets. Right? So if you look at the guitar, you have those lines, and then you have the dots. Right? The dot signature, the actual sound of that note.
Right.
Anything in between that dot is like an inflection of that note. So you have from that line in the guitar to the next line, and anything in between that is an inflection, but that dot itself is the actual bing. So if I was on the guitar and I hit two notes and I ring, that's like me doing a little thing in between the two lines. Okay. Any string instrument, violin, upright bass, blah, blah, blah. If you look, there is no fret, there is no dot. Therefore, you know theory, but it's based on feel.
Yeah.
Right? You still have to.
Yes.
Go up and down, brother.
You got the feeling.
But you can't. And there's no guide, so you can't look and see. And catch it back. So if you know it's a guitar player, when he's playing in the live band, he's playing, and every once in a while he can look, and as a reference, right? The ones that don't look is the ones that can play the violin, the upright bass, or whatever. It's all based on feel. So if you look at B.B. King, what did B.B. King always do?
Close his eyes.
Right? Because now it's based on feel. So even when it comes to mixing, you can base it on theory to start, like 0.4 dBs, blah 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 blah.
All that technical shit.
You can start with the technical shit. But when you listen to Dr. Dre, Timbaland, Pharrell,
that's what I was gonna go to.
Metro Boomin, 40, Boy Wonder, blah blah blah. It's all feel.
Hey!
It's all feel.
But that's what I was gonna go to. You could be classically trained.
Yeah.
I remember reading.
Because I'm classically trained in piano, but I base all my instrumentation on feel.
Because that's the human side of it.
Yeah.
And when Dr. Dre is like producing an orchestra,
Yeah.
he's like, these guys are so classically trained that they're not incorporating the feel.
So that's why
So he knows what take to get from.
Yeah. So like I feel like sometimes like I wish people had an experience to like be in the studio with certain producers to see how they do things, because when you see them just touching the knob and they're bopping, they're like, they touch, they bop, boom, bring down, boom. They're not looking at dBs and 0.4 and 0.86 and whatever. It's just the feeling of whatever. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's the feel, because when you sell it now to the public, what are they garnering on?
Just feel.
If it ain't touching them, then is it real? It ain't real.
So Bailon, what is this to?
What is this to?
The good old days?
The good.
I think you meant to say the feel.
And to our fans for watching this season, thank you so much.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay.
What was the first thing that drew you to hip hop? Where you knew this was somewhere you had to be?
LL Cool J, I Need Love.
Well, so why that one?
I think it was 87, 88.
Okay.
Okay, so the first album that I bought was the first Run DMC album.
Okay.
But what commemorated with me at the time is that I'm young. I had a paper route, right? kind of on a Disney level. So I had a paper route, saved up my money, and at that time, the theme was the shell toes, right?
Yeah.
So when I got my first shell toes, I must have like looked at that shit for like 5-6 hours in the box, lifting it, closing it, walking away.
Is this real? Am I dreaming?
Right. Am I dreaming? Because I have the same shoes that Run DMC that I bought that album is wearing. So I have a uniformal piece of hip hop in my house.
And were you inspired by the concert? Because I heard about the concert, the Run DMC concert when Run took off.
Yeah. And they threw up the
Put it
thing.
in the air.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. So for me, I'm like, if I'm gonna enter what we call the culture, I have to be a student.
Right.
So I felt that at the time I was getting to that point that I'm worthy enough to be student worthy.
Right.
So for me, and it's the same story that I was just telling my wife and my best friend the other day, is that when I like, if anybody that ever knew me or saw me on the streets or whatever, and it came to like, apparel, right? I would never wear apparel just to wear apparel.
Right.
My apparel of choice was from cities that actually influenced me in hip hop.
Right.
So anybody that is a cultured person within hip hop, the Yankee hat is without question necessary. Like you can't wear fullbacks or you can't even wear a hat if you don't have a Yankee.
He made
and
it
and say that you're hip hop. You can't do that.
This man made it
Yeah.
more like, and he said he made it more popular than
The Yankee.
Also, you know what the funny thing is? I remember we were going on the road, and I was making I don't know if you have any superstitions when you perform or whatever. We'll get into that in a second. But every time we go on the road, I get a new pair of sneaks and a new hat.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a Yankee snapback.
Yeah.
You know how long it took? I just had to give up and say, no, you have to get the fitted because most of the places don't have a Yankee snapback.
No, but watch this.
It's so iconic.
But watch this. Even without Jay-Z, respect due to Jay-Z, but even without Jay-Z saw it because he lived it, he's seen it, whatever. But he was the one to actually brand it. But here's the facts. The facts are when you go to New York City, even tomorrow, 80% of the people that you see on the street are wearing Yankees.
Yeah.
Period. Like that's their hat of choice. Like,
now,
like I'm throwing on something just to go to the corner store, to the bodega. I'm throwing on my Yankee.
Yeah, but now though, for me, I used to wear Yankee hats all the time.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I'm not doing that.
Because
I gotta rep this.
To Toronto.
I gotta rep Toronto.
Because
and when the Black Jays dropped, it confirmed that I have to rep Toronto.
Right. But the thing with the thing is at that time too, another stigma or another whatever is that Toronto was just trying to break through. Anything that we can do to break through, we would just do. Right. So the whole backdrop about artists sounding American or whatever. We all know that Caravan of Time, Man's Them used to throw on the accent.
Beer foreign plates.
Okay, beer and foreign plates, right?
Foreign plates.
I'll even here's another shop club exclusive. I was even one of them mandems.
Yeah.
I was even one of them mandems, but guess what? It was a girl. I can't remember where she was from, but she was from the States. And she goes, "You ain't from the States." And she goes, "No, nigga, why you even from? Like, you from that city?" Blah, blah. And I felt a ways because I got dissed by a girl.
She knew.
Right? So from then, I'm like, yo, I'm cutting that. Like, I'm not even like, like it was on, because the presentation, like even for women is like, even if you fake the funk on certain type of levels, you fake the funk on certain type of levels.
Right.
But who you are as a person, you don't really want to fake the funk on that type of level. So when you're speaking and a girl from that is noticing it and she's actually seeing it and she like basically calls you out and Tim boots you in the mouth. You're like, yo, I can't even do that anymore.
I have to ask the question. Were you wearing a Yankee fitted?
No.
Okay.
No.
In my mind, you have a Yankee fitted.
I was wearing a beige polo bomber.
Okay.
I remember I was wearing that.
Question. Your first album that you bought was Run DMC.
Run DMC. Second one was Public Enemy, Fear of a Dark Planet.
Mm.
Third one was DOC.
Okay.
What was that?
Nobody does it better.
No, but yeah, it was on that album. But that was my third thing. My fourth one was NWA, Straight Outta Compton.
No, is this vinyl or cassette?
Cassette.
Okay.
It's all cassette.
Where does the LL Cool J Need Love fall in that?
So how the LL Cool J thing falls in love, how that falls in with the whole thing is I'm looking at me as an individual, right? And you know, I'm a ladies' man to an extent of whatever. Like I don't present myself as the, I just present myself as a cool guy, whatever. And for some reason, it attracts more women into your energy because they sense inviting. Like they sense that you can
An invitation.
an invitation, right?
Yeah.
So I was the invitation guy, right? LL Cool J is an invitation guy, even without that song.
Right.
But that song confirmed that he's the invitation guy,
Yeah.
right? So when I heard that, I'm like, oh my God. This was like the Bible to like speak to women.
Yeah.
Because
Because
not only are you like spitting game,
Right.
you're spitting street game, then you're spitting lovey-dovey game,
right.
and then you're spitting reality game. The reality game, if you listen back to the lyrics, the reality game at the end of the day is, hey, I actually want a girl that I want to just chill with. I really don't want to be out there chasing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
which is a testament to his marriage.
I think you're missing
Right?
the biggest key in that. The biggest game in that is the vulnerability chip.
Right. And
Vulnerability chip.
And he let him go from early. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even like 2, 3, 4 albums in. Now I'm gonna let
That was,
go.
that was it. That was
Right?
the
Second
jump.
Right? So
Second album is it?
There's second album.
Second album.
Yeah, because it was radio.
It was the bad album. It was the one where he was
Radio
posted
and
up by the fence.
yes.
I even told the wifey the other day too. Like, yo, that's one of the most iconic album
Wait.
covers ever.
It was on that? Are you sure?
Yeah, when he was on the fence and he's like,
No.
That's
That's Walk with Panther.
That's
Walk
Walk
with
with
Panther? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it's on
Oh no, that is the
Walk
one
with
where he was
Panther.
in the black and white, in the black and white cover, right?
We gonna Google this. We
Google
gonna make
it.
sure
He's
this is
going
right.
to do it. Okay, so why are you talking about that? Now we're talking about hats.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
How
Yankees.
do you wear it?
So Yankees.
No, how do you wear it?
Right now. Oh, so I'm wearing my own. A room full of colors. A room full of colors is my own hat.
Now, why is it a room full of colors?
So a room full of colors. The concept that I got from a room full of colors is
I
that
stand corrected. Sorry, it's on iPad.
okay, put it this way. Everybody, but me most importantly, because I'm a musician, like artist. And I know I can speak for certain people, like so Andre 3, Pharrell, who's another person? Who's that guy from Tyler the Creator's crew there? Ocean. Frank Ocean. So Frank Ocean, even Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
There's certain artists, whatever. So I suffer I suffer with what you call synesthesia. Right? So I see and speak things in color.
Okay.
Right? So
Oh.
right?
Okay.
So I actually
See it in
see
color.
it in color.
Oh, these
I
are
actually
gifts.
speak in color.
You said gifts? No,
for real. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
see in color, you speak in
I
color.
actually see and speak in color.
Wicked.
But I never knew what that actually meant until there was an album, I can't remember, an NRD album, and the intro to that album was Pharrell talking about how he's in that, and people would kind of relate to this. You're in the shower, you hear the water running, and it could be anything.
Right.
You're thinking about what you're gonna make for dinner. You're thinking about like what you're gonna wear for the night,
Right.
whatever. But all these ideas start trickling in your head. And that's because that not only the shower could be any other place, but within the shower, is that's your own little private sanctuary for the time being.
Right.
And when you're in your own private sanctuary for the time being, that's when all the creative processes happen. So, don't need to gross anybody out, but even if you were taking a shit for 20 minutes and you're on the toilet for 20 minutes, some sort of
Hey!
Don't share that.
We're gonna cheer that.
some sort of creative process is gonna like
Right.
come to something.
Right.
Something of something.
Yeah.
Right? I never really understood it until I heard that NERD album. I heard the intro,
Yeah.
and I started really researching it. And I'm like, oh shit, you know what?
Synesthesia.
Yes, yeah,
I
so you speak things in code.
the first time I actually heard that was I was watching Empire. I never heard about that.
Apparently, Michael Jackson has it. Kanye.
Yeah,
Well,
right. So right.
They,
So
they when they hear a beat,
um,
they see the color. The color vibrates. You might see red as a bass line. You may
Right.
see green
right,
as a melody.
right, and it's an actual fact. It's not
Yeah.
even like a
It's
thing.
a real thing.
It's
Michael Jackson had it.
thing.
Me,
Like, it's a real thing.
it's a dream. Like I'll sit there and have an idea, and don't know how to develop it
Yeah,
until I fall asleep. And I wake up in a panic, and I gotta get to a pen and pad and
Right.
draw it out.
Oh,
write it
because
out,
you know that,
something.
and I've been through that. So you know that you already know within yourself
Yeah,
that if you don't do it right now, it's gonna be a race.
yeah.
So you have to run.
Yeah.
And it's the same
Let's take this shot to the creative process.
creative process. Right here. Creative process. 1, 2, 3. Creative process.
Here we go.
All right, David.
This is me. Well,
Yeah. So when I heard that, I can't remember the album.
yeah.
Pharrell, if you ever see this, please forgive me. But it's the album cover with the gorilla.
Yeah, it's called Seeing Sounds.
Right. See and Sound. Baba. And the one with Busta Rhymes. That did that crazy verse on that.
The bus is crazy.
But anyways, if
Bus
you
was
listen to
crazy.
that album, See and Sounds, and you listen to the intro, that was the intro that confirmed to me that I have that.
Right.
And from then, I researched it, boom, boom. And then I started looking at my life in general.
Right.
And I looked at my creative space in which I was doing my music.
Right.
So at the time, the place that I was doing my music was my bedroom.
Right.
I had everything set up within my bedroom. So that's where the room full of colors comes from. But the overall aspect of the room full of colors is a universal.
Right.
So what I stand for is not living within the box.
Nice.
Most people in life live within the box, which means, and you can point them out automatically. The people that live in the box are forget the, I see something and I can't do something. Like that's by default. That's anybody can catch that. Everybody knows that, right? Living in the box means that anything within your life, you are not compelled enough to even give it a try. Now, the word try the word try is not like, okay, I did something half-assed or whatever. You have to put an actual effort within that to constitute, to say that I tried.
Right.
You can't just say, okay, I made an omelet, the omelet broke the first time, so I tried.
Yeah.
No. Do it 5, 6, 7
Until you
times
make a perfect omelet.
until you make a perfect omelet, or even if you didn't and you got just a little close,
Yeah.
at least you can say, try,
Try it.
right? That goes on all aspects of life, whether it be relationship, whether it be music, whether it be your job, whether it be if you're creating something, I don't care what it is. You have to give a constitute effort to try something, to actually say, or, okay, because now, if one of your man names are like, yo, how come you're not doing this no more? And you said, because of blah, 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 blah. They already know whether you tried or you didn't try.
Right. Sure.
Right?
They technically be like,
Yeah,
you
they're already
try, bro. Like,
yeah,
what do you mean?
they're already gonna call you out.
Yeah.
So you have to take precedence upon yourself to try.
Yeah.
And really do a constant effort. Go back to what Gadget used to tell us. If you are not doing a freestyle, a beat, a record, I don't give what the fuck.
Yeah.
Music, even if you're playing the piano, if you're not doing things to last 15 years and beyond, you're wasting your time.
Right.
Because let's not even talk about money. But just on principle of feel, people are not gonna go back and listen to that song or that album or whatever again. Right? Because it didn't touch them in any way. It could be a party track, it could be anything. It could be like, okay, watch this. Remember Teddy Riley's Shake Your Rump? Right? That's a party track, right? Isn't it lasting until right now? Forever?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Even a party track with simple lyrics, it's about whatever, shake your ass, whatever. If it ain't written, produced, or whatever, in a certain spectrum.
But that song had it to feel like it was made for
Now,
like,
now on the back end, this is what we call the back end. The back end is when it comes to the money. If you ain't doing that, you're not going to see your royalties and residuals for years and years to come.
Right.
Because your residuals are going to stop.
Yeah.
Because at a point, people are just going to get fed up with it.
Right.
And they're not going to be in tune with it.
Right. So
Right?
they should stop paying attention.
Yeah.
Like Young MC hasn't worked, and he made one hit record.
Yeah. So,
like, you bring up Young.
right?
Because it's an honest story. Like if you look at Young MC, this man honestly has one hit, and he has nothing after that.
Nothing.
Absolutely
But
nothing
that's
after that one hit.
Shout out Warren. Shout out Daryl.
Right. So that one hit that man made, that one hit that record label said, "Yo, this is the one."
Yeah.
They pushed that out.
Yeah.
He hasn't dropped shit after that. But
Right,
he
hit,
has.
but nothing hit.
Well,
like
well,
that.
no, okay, no.
No, but like nothing
Here's
hit.
the thing. Well, here's the thing. You're gonna talk that dude. Like I said, I'm a musician. I'm an artist, right? Okay. So he is not an artist.
No.
Okay. Because in theory, if that is what you passionately love, it doesn't matter if you do one song 1 year and 3 years later you do another song and 6 years later. If it's just you have no choice.
Right.
He was at a time of life where he was just having fun.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that song blew.
Yeah.
But theoretically, within himself, he might like music, but he doesn't blossom music.
He doesn't love music.
He doesn't blossom music, right?
I like that.
Right, yeah. So he doesn't he doesn't like if you look at a plant, even in winter now, the plant like closes up, all the leaves die, right? And then in the springtime, summertime, it revitalizes itself because it's still creating what it's about. Right? If you're not about that, you're not going to continuously do that.
Right.
It's just based on human principle, it will never happen.
Right.
Like you can never say that 7 years from now I'm now going to kick in to the thing. It will never kick in because that's not you. Right? If you're just a guy that just wants to rap, sure, you can be a Jay-Z, just rap. Yeah. But your rap has to be magical. It has to be like you produced, arranged, or whatever. If you're doing that skill, if you're taking up producing skill and you just want to be a producer, okay, cool. But you gotta team yourself up with Dre. You gotta team.
You gotta be a student before.
Because at the end of the day, you're sitting back saying to yourself, I want to be this. And you're looking at the people that are influencing you. And you're looking at their tier of where they're at. Well, how are you going to get to that tier if you're not producing, writing, arranging, or whatever on that tier?
Right.
Because if Nas comes into this room right now, and I said, okay, Nas, let me play you something. I'm confident enough that when I press play, he's going to say, yo,
that's fire.
Right? See, because I already know
Yeah.
that if Nas was to hear my, that's how I think.
Yeah.
I think like, what if?
I was at a Black Boot Camp Group concert.
Yeah.
And I brought this up before on the show, where rest in peace to Sean Price.
Johnny.
I was at the stage.
The toughest critic of
Bro,
all.
I was at the stage. We're at the stage. It's Sean Price, me, my boy, Silent Shadow, General, and Tech.
Yeah.
We're at the side of the stage and we're talking. And this guy walks up. He's like, "Yo, Sean Price, you're one of my favorite rappers. You're amazing. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm a producer. I want you to listen to my music."
Yeah.
Try like, all right, cool. Takes the CD. He's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, you fire?" He's like, "I'm alright." He's like, you mean you're alright?
Oh, you're already dead in the water.
He goes, you're alright.
You're already
Bro, you gotta come at me, you gotta tell me that, yo, I'm the best shit ever happened.
Yo, you should have looked at him like, yo, are you dumb?
Right.
Like,
He's
yo,
like, he turned to me, goes, yo,
Brethren.
you should have told me you're the best shit ever happened, so I need you to
You
try this again.
should have done this. He's like, yo, come here.
So he's like, yo, I need you to try that
Let
again.
me just press play.
Yeah. He goes, I need you to try that again. So the guy does it again. He's like, yo, you fired? And he goes, yo, I'm the best fucking producer, blah, blah, blah. As soon as he walked away, Sean threw that CD across the stage. So yo, fuck that guy.
Okay, here's a. Okay, watch this. Okay, watch this. Here's another exclusive for the Shotgun. Okay? I know. Cardi probably doesn't even remember this. Any of the magnums were on this
got a
tour.
party coming up soon.
Oh, is it?
No,
I'm
I'm trying to get my tickets still, and every time I go on that damn site, that's sold out.
Okay.
For
Okay, he's probably not gonna see this, but any of the madam that see this, tell Cardi that yo, madams need tickets for the Christmas party. Okay, so Silver, Ready Man, Blackwood, any of them. If there's room, give these madams.
there's room at the end.
See? Right? Circle affiliate, right? So here's another exclusive. And this is a real shit. This is some
we
real shit.
appreciate your efforts, sir.
Yeah, this is some real shit. So one of my main influences as a musician was Bob Marley. Okay. Man, what year was it? I think it was 2008. Right? So 2008. I'm on the road with Cardi and Solitaire. Right?
Cardi's booming right now with
Right.
Dangerous, probably.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even like it was. No,
It's close to that time.
it's close at the time, but it didn't happen.
Okay.
At the time,
Okay.
right?
I'm trying to put a time
but-
signature for the people. There.
Right, but because of his efforts and when he was like stamping for the city,
Yeah.
it had that grand scale,
Okay.
right? Like
Use
international.
international.
And I want people to notice it's not like no North America shit. Like I'm
No.
talking about like
China.
Dubai,
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
Japan,
Yeah.
India, Africa.
Seriously international.
Sweden,
Yes.
Belgium, like UK, like that type of shit. Like not no local. I look at North America as local.
Yeah. No, he was on.
I don't even care if anybody bought buses in North America. It's still local.
What's the number?
If you're a musician and if you're a creative person, you should be thinking international.
Yeah.
Right? You have 7.1 billion people to deal with, not like one continent to deal with. Right?
Yeah.
So he goes, yo, and he already knew these people, right? He goes, yo, this is a serious thing that I'm about to tell you guys. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? And he goes, yo, we're about to open up for Damian Marley. And I'm like, oh, yeah? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, eh?
Yeah.
And then he's like,
I
no,
wish we had that. I wish we had
it's more than a yeah, eh.
Yeah.
Okay? We're performing at the Brixton Academy.
Oh.
And then I'm like, oh shit, what's that? And I didn't know. And I'm like, yo. And then he goes, remember Rolling Stone? I'm like, oh, that Brixton Academy.
Yeah.
So it's like the parallel to us for Maple Leaf Gardens.
Right.
So the Brixton Academy, name any UK artist, Rolling Stones, all them. They performed there before they busted America.
Right.
That was their like. That was like their
crown
like,
and jewel. Like,
that was their
that's the
Apollo. So
Yeah.
the Brixton Academy is the UK's Apollo.
Okay.
Put it that way, right? So he goes, not only is it the Brixton Academy, but the last Marley to touch that stage is his father. So I'm like, oh, fuck.
Fresh up.
That's pressure. That's pressure.
Fresh up.
I feel like there's so
So
many
everybody was like silent for like 20 minutes. And then, yeah, bro. It's not a regular.
Yeah.
It's like a serious thing.
Hey! Well, we talking about pressure.
So it's a serious thing. So long story short, we do the performance,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. We get to meet Damien in the back. I swear on my life. I saw him and he goes, yo, and this is blah, 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 and this is Ro. And he turned around and I backed up like 4 or 5 steps because I saw this glow.
Yeah. So Zora.
And I swear to God, I saw his dad. I'm not even lying. Let this be on record. I'm not even lying. Right? So I was like frightened. I was like scared. I'm like, I did like a 5-step back.
Yeah.
And to catch myself. And I'm like, holy shit, the guy looks like his fucking dad for real, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like even the way he talks.
Yeah.
So even if you don't believe me, listen to all of them, even to today, and tell me who sounds more like their dad.
Well, Ziggy sings like his father.
Right. So and this is the thing. Damien is like the golden child of the fam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he shies away from it
But
or
he's the
whatever,
youngest.
whatever.
He's the youngest.
I don't know, whatever, but he's whatever because he glowed that night.
Yeah.
See? I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
See? And then when he turned around, he goes, yo, and he goes, hey. He goes, yo, respect you. You were, I go, I know you. You're the one jumping the highest on the stage. That was like my Grammy Award.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, yo, I'm never going to see his dad.
Yeah.
I'm never going to whatever.
But this.
I was, my bed had his dad's picture behind my bed for guidance and protection, literally for music wise, forever.
Right.
And his seed is telling me that he's recognizing me
For
what I'm performing
Yeah.
at the time where nobody else touched that stage from since his dad passed, and he was the first Martin to do it.
Yeah.
So in the backstage, like news, like I can't even tell you. It was like plastered. It was plastered with newscasts from BBC, this, that, and the third, like different countries. Like it was a big thing. Like it was a big thing. It wasn't even like a small thing. Yeah. Right? So when I got that was like my Grammy.
Yeah.
Right? My other Grammy is when I met 3 Stacks. Right?
Oh, let's take a shot.
My other Grammy was
What's
when I
this
met
one too? Grammys?
Unsuspected
personal
victories.
victories. Oh, yeah. Unreleased victories. I would say unknown victories. So long story with that, a homegirl that was cool with at the time was actually in the Hey Ya video. They had a record release for Speaker Box Up Below.
Yeah.
Obviously, Outkast is my #1 group fan for life. Right?
They're amazing.
So I went to the record release.
Nobody's done a better
five
album run.
And only, in my opinion, there's only one man that can speak on my behalf of this too. If you so watch, you don't know Bishop Acante. Like he's the only guy that I know of that can speak on behalf of what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay. So when I met that, when I met 3 Stacks, like blah blah blah, and she's like, yo, 3 Stacks here. I wasn't even expecting anybody to be there. We're just saying, whatever. And then he goes, no, come on, no. I'm not gonna. I don't want to meet him. I said, what are you talking about? Whatever. I'm like, no. I want him to hear my music and vouch for me.
Right.
So when I approach him, he's like,
I know who you are.
Right.
done know, right?
Yeah.
But watch this. I met him, and she goes, yeah, this is my boy Ro, blah, blah, blah. And I shook her hand. I'm like, yo, it's an honor, blah, blah, blah. And he's holding my hand. He goes, don't I know you from somewhere? And I'm like, no. And he goes, are you sure? I swear on my life. He goes, are you sure? I'm like, no. And then he goes, are you sure? I'm like, no. And I'm like, well, there was one time where me and my crew, we opened up for you guys in Detroit.
Yeah.
But that was like 2-3 years prior. I don't know if you're going to remember that. He goes, nah. That wasn't it. I could swear to God I know. Right? Once again, that was my Grammy because I'm like, we're on the same creative musical length.
Yeah.
Right? So I know if I played him anything to this day, if I met him again and I played something of mine of his, he would totally relate.
Yeah.
He would understand it. Like I already know that because there's no way that you know what I mean. So
Okay.
Talking about pressure. I like to put people in the hot seat.
oh, there's no pressure with me.
No. So I like to do a thing called the last drink rule.
Right.
We're gonna take our last shot.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do another one. Let's
Ready?
do my last one.
Why don't we do 3?
Alright.
See? No
But, no pressure.
Aha.
What I want you to do is one or two things.
Okay.
Spin a verse.
Okay.
Either you can do a Canadian freestyle, which I like to say is always off the top, or you can do an American freestyle,
All
right? Which is something written that nobody's heard before, right? With or without a beat.
Oh, so that's those are the 2 options?
Yeah.
You made it sound like it's more.
Man.
You made it sound like it's more.
You can do it on a beat. You can do it without a beat. It could be freestyle or it could be.
You can do a Canadian freestyle, which is completely off the top, or you can do that American freestyle, which is that written shit that nobody's heard before.
Oh yeah, get into the new
Written
music.
shit no one's heard before. Acapella.
Acapella.
Sprinkle. I'll give you a sprinkle.
Alright, bye long, cut. Last drink, bro.
I'm just thinking.
Check it out, y'all.
A room full of colors. It was hot sexy though.
5-panel, by the way. If anybody's into fashion, it's 5-panel. I'm a skater kid,
If you don't know,
right?
It was a sexy hat.
Skater. Skate for life. Skater. Shout out to Pharrell and Era D. Skater. 5-panel.
Yo, I tried to skate as a kid.
And?
I couldn't ollie
You
for
couldn't do
shit. No, I could skate, but I couldn't ollie.
Okay, you know what it is?
It pissed me off.
Okay, here's my theory to that. It's no different than if you're riding a bike, right? One of my homies, he's still a bike ride, like official bike rider. And they say that when you get a sports bike or even a hog or whatever, it's best to take the bike on open roads because that's when you get to learn
Right.
the bike and maneuver and whatever. Because when you get back to the city, everything comes at you
Yeah.
so fast that if you're not used to it,
Yeah.
you're gonna do unmistaken things, right? So I kind of look at it the same way, right?
I'm from Sudbury.
Oh, so you.
So
So he just couldn't.
know.
So he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it.
So when the ollie have for skateboarders, what we do is like if you're doing outdoor stuff, we start off in the grass.
Yeah.
It's like concrete, but it's like mushy. The board is not gonna slide and
yeah, if
whatever.
you drop, you're not gonna get
Right.
scratched up. It's
So
like,
you develop your ollie, your kick flip, your kick flip, whatever. Even your ollie 180, you could develop that on the grass. Once you perfect that, then you could try on the street,
yeah.
and then you can do the student, do the standard, whatever. But mind you, if you do the standard and you don't hit it,
You're gonna drop.
the board's gonna fly. This would have fly. So it's best to train yourself on a firm surface. Once you get familiar with that, then
Yeah.
do that stuff.
Yeah.
all right. Well, what about this verse though?
Verse, you ready?
That's what
Yeah.
we wanted.
All right.
No beat. Acapella.
Ready to go?
Yeah,
Go
man.
for it, man.
Okay. Thank you, Lord, for letting me see another day. I forever pray for those who passed away. Some early, it was never my decision. For every wish and will, I dwell further to submission. Both hands to the sky, Lord, forgive them. Please forgive me for trying to make the right decisions. The world's got me on the T-saw, sipping up and down we go. See the sun at midnight, stacking money to blow is cold. Hard-headed, but I still listen. Bees buzzing around my hive, yeah, I'm honey dipping. Beauty of it was all there, but your love was missing. Trying to put it back together forward, Scottie Pippen. 4/5 from rather see DBS pole position.
All right.
Check it out, y'all.
That
was freestyle off the top.
Scottie Pippen Ryan. Yeah.
Right? Try to see him 4/5 from.
Yeah.
What's a double entendre? 4/5, 45.
Mike
Bomb.
coming back.
Mike coming back. 4, 5.
Yeah, we got it.
Before was Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this year you did drop new music, right? I saw 3 new songs: "Gangsta Town."
Oh, so Gangsta Town is an old tune. That's
And
the Gangsta
Gypsy
Town
Queen
is with
in
Gypsy
2019.
Queen. That's an old tune.
Those are the latest tunes I found on Spotify.
Actually, can we do an exclusive? Or do you want to do an exclusive?
What?
Actually, no.
We can do
can't
an exclusive. Can we do an exclusive by law? Song wise?
No. Because do you have a connect? Do you have like? Because I got the. Let me show you my.
What do we need? Like a mic through?
No, connect to.
Oh, exclusive.
Actually, you know what?
Oh,
the phone
Actually,
connect.
let me.
So you don't play on phone, you play on these speakers.
To catch that, yeah.
Oh, I can also work on that.
Who's rocking with us right now?
Ooh, yes.
What we got as far as the comments going? While they doing that,
I'm into the same right now.
Also the same.
The last one we powder. Put up a glass emoji. Cheers emoji. Oh, she crazy. Put up the praise emoji.
okay.
And a wine glass emoji. And she had a message retracted, so I don't know what she was saying.
Who knows? She might have had some of that Gorilla Glue.
Who knows? You know.
So you got those songs out.
Okay, so no songs out right now, but I do have a song that I'm gonna be releasing at the end of the year.
No,
All right.
Before that, I want that question.
No.
Because you dropped
let me
those
get
3
this.
songs as singles. It was like to me like you didn't at that point you weren't trying to build a whole project or anything or just
No, because
feeling
this
out.
is okay. So it's not a toot on the horn, it's not the pat on the back, it's not anything. But like I said, from our school, from our training, for us to produce an EP or an album, it's whatever. We could do that blindfolded, right? I'm more so Michelangelo, right? I like to have canvas. You don't even go to artist house. You see tons of canvases around the room.
Yeah.
And there are different paintings around the room.
Yeah.
Each painting is a singular thing, right? So you can say, hey, you want this picture? Here, take it.
Yeah.
Or, whatever, right? So I'm more so on that level. I'm more so like, I even though it is what it is today, which is like, single driven, whatever. Yeah. Even though it's single driven, I'm not following that single driven mentality. I don't follow music industry mentality.
Right.
I follow creative artistic mentality, which is the same reason that say like an artist like Prince gave more to himself to say, hey, I'm going to write Slave on my face. When you're an artistic person, and you base things more on a creative artistic process,
Right.
or like embracing of your artistic values, I would say. You don't really conform to whatever they say, because even if you're a drawer, you don't have to be the spectacular drawer.
Right.
For you, you're an artist. So even if you draw stick figures, you draw stick figures.
Here's what we want to know.
What is that guy doing?
Take a shot first. And then.
You know what I'm saying? What is that guy doing? I'm drawing stick figures.
Right.
Are you drawing stick figures? Are you at least drawing stick figures?
Right.
Because if you're not at least drawing stick figures, you can't talk to me about my artistic values.
No, we want to know about the circle reunion, man.
All right, let's take a shot. Let's take a shot.
Okay. So watch this.
Let's take the shot.
So watch this. What did you say?
Circle
Okay.
reunion.
Okay, so this is a shot to what?
Circle
Circle
reunion.
reunion.
Okay. So I will say, I don't know.
Which mic you want to drop for us?
I have no clue.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried.
I'm doing my fat Joe right now. I'm doing my Jody.
What I
tried.
What song do you want to drop?
I don't know.
What I want to say
Oh.
is,
Oh, did I give you the USB?
Much all right or believe in me?
Okay, so
All right, I heard.
you heard all right?
All right was on Spotify. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Was it all
okay.
right?
So let's play all right. The song. Okay, this is live, so it's good that I'm doing all this stuff. Okay, so all right, it's a song, and I'll give you the premise before you play it. It's a song that I wrote. Wifey's in the house, so it was a time that I can't even remember. We had an argument. It was a big argument. I'm feeling a certain way.
Mhm.
I'm a musician, artist.
Yep.
So the only way that I know how to express my feelings
Yeah.
is through the pen. So it's the first song that I ever wrote in regards to my feelings towards her.
Okay.
Okay.
The song is not all right, too much.
Too much.
Too much. So the song Too Much is basically saying that I love you too much
Mhm.
to let anything fall or
Right. Ruin it. Or
ruin
whatever.
it or whatever.
I gotta wave to the people though. The people been hitting you
Yo,
up, man. Hit
But it says what?
There you go. Hit that wave. There you go.
Okay, wait.
Wave to the people there.
And this
You know what I'm saying?
on my JP Peeps, my boy Warren. Warren, I see you, Warren. Jeez, that was so aggressive.
Yo,
Kesha, I see you, Kesha.
what's your? I
I
haven't done.
didn't even take my shot. Sorry.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
Shot club.
ShotClubPodcast.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the bell, stay notified.
Hey, hold on. And this is live, so hold on. Yo, Nori, if you see this, I know you do drink champs, blah blah blah. But
Yo,
if you see this,
bruh,
you in
bruh,
FN, you guys need to come here, do your thing.
bruh.
See?
Tell you.
First of all,
Tell you.
Them
You
cans,
don't know.
first of all,
they can't rock with us.
Yeah.
First of all, real champs take shots. They don't sip.
Cheese. Hello. Hello.
Let me ask this though.
Okay.
I haven't done this with any other guest. Now,
Ooh,
one of my favorite. I used to watch. I used to read the Source a lot. Used to buy the Source magazine.
Oh
every
yeah,
month.
yeah. I still
subscription.
got all my Source
Yeah.
magazines.
You remember Studio Survival Kit?
No, but what is it like that?
So
That's the
what
artist.
they would
That's
do-
the artist.
What they would do is they would do a small interview with an artist.
Oh,
They would
what they
ask them
need.
what they need in
Oh,
the
okay,
studio.
okay. That's easy.
Give me
easy
five
things.
things.
Easy
You
things.
need in the
Easy
studio.
things. This is easy too, and I like this one. Wait.
Well, you'll get it in season 5.
Okay, so
See y'all in
okay. Before I say the 5, can I say can music be something, or is that like
I
no?
need 5 things that you
5
need
things.
as a studio.
Okay, so 5. I need some things,
What
and anybody knows.
He
What
needs
I'm talking
things.
about.
He
No,
needs
that's not.
He
No, wait,
needs-
hold on.
He needs things.
Hold on.
No, but true say,
That is
when you
not
come
a
to
real-
make music,
He needs his
I need
things.
some
it's good to have them the vibe.
Okay,
No, that's not what he said.
Watch
That's not what he
this.
said.
Watch
He
this.
said 5 things.
Okay, watch
I
it.
don't know
Okay,
5 things.
I'm gonna blanket it.
Five
I'm
things
gonna blanket
like
it.
it.
Number 5
no,
is
it means
he
number
needs some
5 is things.
Okay.
Not
I'm gonna
5
no,
things.
no, I'm gonna blanket it.
No, I know what you
I'm gonna blanket it. I'm gonna blanket the
You
thing.
need
So
things.
okay,
Okay.
So-
okay.
I need a pack of backwoods, and I need
Okay.
some things.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's not.
Okay, so
two.
you married the two.
That's
You married
two.
the two.
So you're married to
Things.
two.
You're counting that as one?
Yes.
Backward and things is
Backward
one.
and
You
things.
can't have the things on the back.
Yes,
That's
You can't
backward
have
and
the
things
things
is
on
one.
the back.
Why?
Well, first of all, no.
It has to go
Right?
backwards.
First of all,
The things has to go backwards.
First of all,
Right,
Shaka
right,
does
right.
It has to go backwards.
You know what
Shaka
things
does
mean?
not like backwards.
Do you know what
No, what
things
I mean,
mean?
Of course you know what things mean. Come on, guys.
No,
I'm from Toronto, guys. I'm from the 6. Of course
Yeah,
you know
but
what
you
things
say
It's for an engagement.
it
I'm
is
telling you
okay.
it's
legal now.
Okay, watch.
It is
Okay.
legal.
This is science.
It's
Okay,
you know it's
okay.
legal now though. So you
You can't
call it
speak.
things.
It's not. You don't have to worry about that.
You just call it
Okay,
loud.
yeah,
I need some loud.
Yo, this is a Toronto.
I know.
Okay, you need to sing it backwards. That's number 1. Okay. Give me 4 more
Number
things.
4. Number 4. What's number
Okay, so
4?
I need some backwoods. I need some things. I need some Appleton's rum. I
Oh.
need some music. It doesn't matter anything, but preferably West Coast.
Okay.
West Coast, down south. If we're talking down south, it's 90s down south. A little bit of
Okay.
today's era down south.
Okay.
What else do I need? On a splash. That's me and Socks thing. It's called a splash. Splash. You understand? So a splash is.
So are
like,
you telling Socks to come on the show so you can tell us what Splash Splash is?
Okay, here's another thing. Fun fact. Okay, like I said, me and that man are like. Okay.
Tie up.
So if there's any man that can make it happen,
Okay.
hello.
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Sweet. Okay. Okay.
We've been trying to get him. We spoke to him, but
What we
Two more
call
things
that?
for this week.
Gatekeeper.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
So I'm the gatekeeper of socks.
Okay.
Okay.
so you have 3. You got
So
2 more.
let Toronto know that from now.
Okay.
I'm the gatekeeper of socks. If you need to get through to him, come talk to me.
Season 5.
So okay, so we got Tings, Appletons, music. As a splash, I would say maybe some like incense or something like, or not candles, but like something to make the air
Okay.
smell.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that potpourri,
Yeah.
flowery, like like just to make the juices. And then 5th thing is salad. Oh yes, yes, candy. Okay, watch this. This is another fact. This is another fact. You know how people are addicted to alcohol or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm on the same level as candy. I promise you. If there was an AA for candy, I would go. Okay? I'm telling you. So yes, babe. See?
What's the favorite candy?
Right? Nibs.
Yes. Strawberry?
Nibs.
Strawberry black.
Strawberry.
Oh,
Nibs. Anything else is like, okay, I could deal with it. But nibs.
In your rider, you're putting 90 nibs in my dressing room?
Hell
And they gotta be strawberry. If they're black,
Hell
if
yeah.
they're black, he's not going on
2 packs.
stage.
2 packs. She's even being a witness. I've done a pack in less than an hour.
Look. I'm his
Okay,
manager for the
this is
show.
how I
If
think.
they're black, he's not going on
This
stage.
is how addicted I am.
If black, send them back.
I have rinsed off. Okay, and we're from Toronto, so everybody should know what
No,
rinsed
rinse
off
me.
is.
Yeah.
So
I
I've
must know what rinse
rinsed
means.
off. Okay, I've rinsed off a pack of nibs. I think my record is 25 minutes.
What?
Anybody knows the volume of nibs? in
There's
a
some
pack?
comments coming in.
No. See?
Nibs?
So I have an addictive thing to candy.
Nibs is a shit.
Yo, Nibs
Yo.
is bad still, bro.
Yo.
Nibs is bad still.
Honestly,
No.
I have no idea what's fucking going on here.
Yo, done off the Twizzlers.
Yo,
all that
Nibs
Twizzlers.
is-
Yo, done that.
Nibs
done
to me-
that.
No, you
Yo,
can't look.
No. Nibs to me is like fucking.
Nibs
What?
is like a quick twist.
Okay,
No,
you don't
Nibs
have
to
to
me
have
is
the
like
whole
that
thing.
candy
hanging
corn.
up.
Okay,
Nibs to me is like candy corn, bro. I get that candy corn.
Watch this. Hold on. Watch this. Twizzlers is to me like, okay, you know a female that everybody can relate. Mandem can relate. See, Mandem can relate. Mandem. Everybody.
Some gal them.
Yeah. And even gal them can relate. Okay. So it's like Twizzlers is to me like, okay, you know when you had a little sesh,
Yeah.
right? And the chef wasn't like, it was like, it's like a 1-2, like, okay, whatever. But maybe certain things of like, she had soft skin, or there's like certain little aspects of it that made you say, okay, it was still a,
Yeah.
Nibs is like a thoroughbred horse. Okay? Nibs don't even want to talk to you.
Oh my god.
They just want to like bust you one time.
Oh my
See?
God.
Right?
Yeah.
Nibs, when you have the nibs, you're like, yo.
Oh my
Forget
god.
about the fact that it's like more crunchy than Twizzlers. But the flavor, bro.
Ocean Crazy. Hold on. Ocean Crazy says Twizzlers feel like the glass half empty.
Right. Where is he? Pop. Where is he? Pop.
I can't.
Glass half empty.
I'm sorry. I'm breaking the fourth wall. I'm sorry. Shop Club fan faithfuls, I'm breaking the fourth wall. We got some things to talk about if that's the case.
Yo,
okay?
all the Nibs fans, throw your hands up, okay?
No, that is
Nibs are good. But don't ever discount what Twizzlers brings to the table.
Yo, Nibs is like compact with the juices,
Yeah,
right? So when
it
you
is.
eat it, it's like, oh my.
You can't. You have to go through the whole fucking Twizzler.
Yeah.
Like,
You can sit on
Just
one
one
nib. You can sit on one nib for a minute.
Yo, listen, I have no idea. Give me some Starburst Give me some
Nah,
Skittles.
Starburst easy. Like
Give me
that.
some
Yo,
Skittles.
that Ritz is quick, guys.
Give me some M&Ms.
No.
Give me like
Nips is consistent.
scoreboard.
Oh, okay, what's the other one? Dave? What's the other one? Real fruit. Real fruit. You know the.
Give me some.
Real
Give me
fruit.
some
Yeah,
fuzzy
yeah,
peaches.
Ah.
Give me some big feet.
If you want to go
Fuzzy
traditional,
peaches.
if you want to go traditional, just go with the jujubes. You go with traditional.
He's a wine gum fan. Like
Ah! You
brother,
Wine gum.
brother.
Yeah. What?
Yo. I think the
You know,
answer
you know the English is better.
Yo.
You know the English is way better.
Yo, y'all stupid.
My brother.
He's a wine gum man.
These guys just had a 30-second hardcore wine gums.
Wine gum.
Yo,
Listen,
yo,
wine gum can say boys, bro.
Yo,
yo,
Boys.
yo.
Wine gum can stop a boy.
Yo, we gonna get into this too much song
Yo.
from Roll Dollar. Oh my god, I
Dedicated to
can't.
the wifey.
I can't. Y'all are dumb.
You already know.
Y'all are dumb. Yo, DJ Barlon, please drop this too much, cause yo, right now these guys are too much. Right now.
Yo, the wine gums. Oh man. Shoo, I'm telling you.
Turn that up.
Yeah. Oh man. What?
Another Shot Club exclusive.
Huh?
Still a Shot Club
Shot
exclusive.
Club exclusive. Shot Club. He's happy.
Who's on the chorus?
Yeah. So production me, making me, mixing me, mastering, like the channel.
And is this something that you're putting up in the new year? Is it something that's gonna? Is it feeding to something else, or is this the main one?
No,
Use Valentine's Day to your
no, because I'm just, like I said, I'm just an artist. I just make pictures.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen to this marketing man over here. Marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're marketing man?
Use Valentine's
Use
Day.
Valentine's Day to your
Yeah?
advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Because if she's too much
So
for
you
you,
do that
if
story
she's
up
too
to
much,
Yeah?
that. Oh, what's up?
Okay, so let's make Shot Club exclusive. If he feels that that's what it's supposed to be going, then let's do
it's
a
that.
Shot Club
It has that
exclusive.
vibe, bro. It has that vibe. It's like,
Right?
it just has you just like rocking and like.
Right?
If this was like a dance, like if it's like a school dance kind of thing,
Yeah.
a dude's grabbing a girl at this point,
Of
and it's just
course.
like that.
Of course, but then for me, the words are relatable because basically what I'm saying is basically like, no matter what we go through, I don't give two shits.
Yeah,
We're staying together.
yeah.
See? That's just me. Anybody that knows me, like shout out to my boy.
Hey, we all on the same page
Shout
at
out
the
to my
same
boy
time.
Warren. You right? He says yes, boy. Right? Shout out to my boy Warren again. He knows.
Yeah,
Right? It's like, yo, if that's what it is, okay, this is the thing. Like, let's transcend or like transition. I'm sorry, transition. Let's transition into like say relationship talk. See? In relationship talk, right? We've all done what we've all whatever done. See? I've even told like there's two types of men, right? There's the slimies.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys that are good guys, but they made one or two mistakes along the way,
Like I
right?
just
Say
said.
hi to me. Say
But
hi
on
to me.
average,
That's me.
but on average, they're good guys.
Yeah.
See? So if I come across a woman that is embracing my values, believe me, right? If I have something in my values,
Yeah.
right, and I see the same values within her,
Yeah.
and if I'm actually that type of person,
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want to hold her down?
This is to the real woman.
It doesn't make sense.
This is for the real women.
This is for the real to real, yo. That is shout
all
out to
the,
everybody
all
that's
the real
been.
women, all the real women, I see
That
you.
is pleasantly.
This is to the wifeys.
Candace, I see you. All the women, I see you.
All of the real people that have been supporting us this whole season.
Tell them where they can find you at.
Okay, so you can find me on IG, Instagram at ARFO Colors. So a room from the colors, like the RFO Colors. You can find me on Facebook at Rodollar. You can find me on Twitter at Rodollar. What other handles I got? Those are primarily all my social media. So IG at ARFO Colors, COLOURS. So ARFO COLOURS.
It is spelled the Canadian way.
By the way,
We
the
have a U
teams
in there.
are,
Yeah. This is what happens on the shotgun.
right? But I spelled it Canadian because obviously I'm
You're
Canadian. Hello.
That's it.
Right? So Room for the Colors, ARFO Colors on Instagram, Facebook at Rodollar, Twitter at Rodollar.
And Spotify. Rodollar.
Oh, Spotify, Rodollar,
Yeah.
Tidal,
So you'll catch all the
Rodollar,
shit.
Deezer, Rodollar, SoundCloud,
I've heard that.
Rodollar.
Are you on one of my favorite sites right now?
Oh, SoundCloud.
Audio Mac?
Maybe not. I have to check that. I have to check that.
I'm gonna check right now because I love Audio Mac.
Right?
Yo, you need to go get that sponsorship.
Yo, let's keep on going. What's
Okay.
If this is okay, watch,
Yo, we
watch,
can go one more.
watch, family.
Drinks it up.
Everybody online right now. Everybody on my live right now. Randoms. If this is the last podcast, see? This is the last podcast.
Season.
Why not bust, right? Why not bust it like a one dude, like
So what we gonna do?
anything?
What we
I'm
gonna do?
an open
All right,
book.
let me ask you-
I'm an open book. Bro.
Let's ask this question.
Let's go.
As a producer
Let's go.
and an MC,
Let's go.
Dr. Dre always says
Right?
he's going to be collaborating with certain artists, certain producers,
Right.
and never drops it. How
Right.
do you feel about that process? Like
Like I said, he's a creative artist.
right.
But okay, there's another shop club
Yo, this is
exclusive.
a theme. It's a theme. We might have to do this in season 5.
Watch this.
See y'all
First of all, before
Wait.
Donna actually gets into this, me and him have a track we gotta fucking finish.
Easy.
Okay?
Okay, watch.
We said we're gonna do a
Now watch
Lenny Kravitz remix.
Now watch this. What song you do? No. Watch this. Remember what I said earlier about people in Toronto thinking that, oh, we're not gonna do things with other people because then
Right.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
I
I need
paint.
it on this.
I paint. Whenever you want the
Yeah.
colors on your.
We were actually talking about.
Whenever you want the extra like
Here's the
exotic
joke.
goo
We were talking about redoing American Woman.
on the low.
Okay.
Jeez! I'm going to hype up my one track.
Yeah.
All right.
You should.
So this has that vibe you were saying down south, but up in this vibe.
I got a text the other day. Talking about things you used to do and say to me. Twisting beautiful like a movie says. Talking on to you, new beats inside a picture frame. Used to blame. I didn't know that's a coming back. You know that. What's the point? And we were never a perfect match. That's a fact. Why do I gotta feel this way? Every time I come around, see it in my face. I've been on a long searching, trying to find my way.
Okay.
Searching inside my soul, so I gotta medicate. Let it spray through the trees. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that
The flow,
from like
the flow, your
the
flow
circle and
now
all
is
that.
fucking way different from before, bro.
you don't stray away from the new sound at all.
No. 'Cause, like I said, art is art. Music is music. here's the facts. Okay, here's another shot plug. It's a fact. And I'm gonna say that maybe the audience realizes, but they don't know. Right? Everything is based on feel. If the audience feels it for the time being, and 4 or 5 months later they rinse it and they hate it and whatever, it's because that's what that essence gave them. It gave them the essence of a 5, right? Where I come from, the essence is 15 years and beyond. Basically infinite. Right? So anything that I create, whether it blows or it doesn't blow, anybody hears it, they will hear it 7 years from now, 10 years from now. I don't give a fuck. They'll still embrace what it is, right? So with the new cats, I love a lot of new cats, right? And as a musician, and if you're a fan of musicianship,
Oh, I got some. No, I got some.
If you're a fan of music, if you love music, okay, here's another exclusive. And wifey's not into projectile, but I'll put her friends on blast. See? Okay, hold on. Not all of her friends. Some of her
Hold
friends.
on. Can we get a disclaimer? Can we get a disclaimer?
Some. No,
I don't want to be.
The shot club is not share the views of Road Dollar and wife's friends at this time.
I didn't get to drop an NDA.
Now, any of them that are watching, I'm not saying you. So blah, 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 I'm not saying you. I'm not saying it. Okay? But all I'm saying, she told me, no. Come on, bro. Don't I look handsome?
I'm just checking.
Don't I look handsome?
I will say this. You look like you're 25.
Okay, you want me to give you the
No. I know older. I'm saying.
We were
I'm
saying.
starting on.
Finish what you were saying.
Right, okay.
Some things don't crack.
Right. Okay. But here's the thing with her friends. Not her friends, sorry. But with some people that I would say people that she knows. Let's put it to people that she knows.
Please do not involve.
Apparently, some people that she knows think that the culture that we live in was only for a certain time period.
Oh, okay.
And therefore, it can't transcend beyond time, right?
Really? Okay.
Here's now, I'll tie that into what you guys are with the whole I look whatever. And anybody that's watching this, please take this. Take this. It's a life thing. You will learn from it. You will grow from it. Anything that you're going through, you might even catch something. What I'm about to say. Okay. My father always said, he's still alive, by the way. Okay. My father always said, oh, and that goes by everybody too. Right?
Yeah.
My father said, your eyes were meant only to see, but to observe. Okay? Don't spend your days gazing, and anybody that's Western, you know what that means. Like, don't spend your days floating and infinite, right? Don't spend your days gazing, because that's the time that you're gonna miss out on the truth. You see the shot there? That's where you're gonna miss out on the truth.
Yeah.
So I've never spent my days gazing.
Yeah.
I've never spent my days not seeing. I don't even know how it is to walk through life not paying attention to shit.
Right.
I don't even know that. Right? So when it comes to music, when it comes to anything, you need to be honest and true with yourself as to whatever you're dealing with, that entails. If you're in a relationship and say 4 months goes down the road and it's still shit for 4 months, bro, it's showing you something. It's showing you that even if it's 6 months, it's still gonna be shit.
Yeah.
If it's 8 months, it's still gonna be shit. Now watch this. Within the 4 months within the relationship, if there was a couple of times where you tried and failed, then yeah, you can go at 8, 9, 10 because you've done a try, fail. But the common denominator is both of you guys want to try. Right? Yeah. So even if it lasts a year and a half of you guys trying to get back on track, you'll get back on track.
Yeah.
But if one person is like, it's been 6 months, it's still the same shit, and I'm still soaking in it. Why are you soaking in it? Because of pussy? Haven't you fucked up enough things already? You don't know what it's. You don't know what it smells like. You don't know what it seems like. You don't know what it like. I don't understand. Like even on the female, you haven't had buddy before. You don't know the size. You don't know the whatever. Like I don't know. Like
Can I tell you how much I like this guy? He uses words that I use, and I refuse to not call me some things.
We could do this.
Like I'm confused.
We're so.
Right? I'm confused.
Bro,
No. This is the last one. This is the last one.
Casual fan as well.
This is the last one, so we're gonna go all out. We're gonna go like, on some East Side Starbucks things. We're gonna go on some East Side
On the
Starbucks
man them
things.
things?
Yeah, on some East Side.
On the
Starbucks
Starman guy
things. Just rinse. We're gonna rinse right now.
On that Starman guy.
As they say, what don't come out in the wash will come out in the
rinse.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rinse.
Yes.
See?
Yes. Like
Okay.
so. Like so.
Yeah. We're gonna rinse. See? So yeah, like I said, like it could like same thing with music now, right?
Yeah.
So there's like certain artists that are not gonna reach that 10, 15 year longevity.
Right.
But yet there's people that have music that will last 10, 15 year sugarcoating the back,
Right.
making them believe that their music is gonna last 10, 15 years.
Right.
I'm not that type of guy.
Right.
I'm like, yo, if you're in this shit, you have to understand what it means. It's no different than football or whatever, or like F1. My favorite sport is F1, by the way. My favorite sport is F1, not basketball. F1. Lewis Hamilton, F1.
Shout out to Timmy from
Six-time world champion, F1.
Shout out
That's
to
my
Timmy
favorite
from
sport.
TSN.
Yeah, it's my favorite sport, F1. Right?
My boy Tim, he's on. He does the FS1 shit on
Oh yeah?
TSN.
Oh shit! Bam, 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 bam.
Sonny.
Hey, if you ever need a spokes, trust me, I'm an F1
Timmy
guy.
and the Living.
Like
Timmy
from like
Yo.
time.
Hit him up. Hit
One
up
time.
Timmy for a
And
roll.
Timmy and Sonny.
I'll draw like three parallels. First F1, second snooker. You guys know snooker?
Yeah.
Okay. Third is golf. I'll show how they all intertwine. Each game, you can't fuck around. Each game, you have to be precise with what you're doing. Okay, F1, you actually need to be precise, bro. You actually have to, or else your life is on the line.
Yeah.
Okay? Golf, if your stroke is not 100% all the way, you're not gonna get what you're gonna get. Okay? What was Snooker. If you look at pool tables, you have the regular 9-ball table. And the regular 9-ball table is a big hole, right? You could probably put 2 balls in one hole. A snooker table, the ball is literally half an inch between each side of the hole, which means you actually have to get precise. You actually have to be 100% to get it in the hole. Okay? So my theory of how I live my life or whatever is it's precision. I actually have to be precise with certain things to make
This
certain
man
things
just took three.
Right?
I would say 3
Now watch
activities.
this, now
Not
watch
all
this.
of them are sports.
Now watch
3
this.
activities.
It's no
interline.
distance to basketball or whatever, but we've seen fluke shots
Yes.
in basketball.
Yes.
There was no flukes in golf. There was no flukes in F1.
Like I said,
And there's no flukes in
the
snooker.
closest thing to a fluke in golf would be a hole in it.
Right.
A hole
And
in
that's beyond rare. That's like winning the lotto.
Yeah.
That's why when you see them do it, they're like, oh shit, did I actually do that?
Yeah.
Because it's like winning the lotto. The mathematical
But
theory
it's like the precision
is so,
on like
it's so
it's just so perfect that
you have to be absolutely perfect.
And that too, it's not even like it's the last shot, but at that too, it's not even like they hit that ball and it lands in the wall.
No,
It still bounces, rolls
rolls, whatever. So
yeah.
same thing with music. Same thing if you're a hairstylist, a barber, a carpenter. I don't give a shit what it is. at some point in time within your day or within your job, you're gonna act in some sort of preciseness, in some way.
Yeah.
Whether you're driving and some guy cut you off, you're like, yo, let me,
Yeah.
you're still gonna act in some sort of preciseness. Preciseness is actually the thing that actually gets you to where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
Because preciseness is actually the one road. It's actually one road.
Yeah.
The fork in the road is two roads, so there's actually two preciseness that you can go. You can go this way, you can go that way.
But you gotta know where you're going.
Exactly. So if I know where I'm going and I know on the fork of the road I'm supposed to go left, I'm just gonna go right. I'm not gonna wait until the fork of the road and be like, let me buy a thing and see. Yeah, what may I do? No. If you knew from time you were gonna make a right or a left, when the time comes, you're just gonna go.
Just fine.
Yeah, you're just gonna go whatever. It's for me. I think it's common sense, but I don't know. Whatever.
Do this precision.
Precision.
Last shot of the season.
Last
Woo!
season.
And we're gonna be precise in
Oh,
season
hold on.
5.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Should I get more?
I think we might have to do a 1 month a 1 month road exclusive.
Here we go. I think we might have to do a 1 month goal exclusive.
There we go.
So we're gonna let Ro again tell you how to find him, how to hit him up.
So you can find me on Twitter at Rodolla, RODOLLA. You can find me on Facebook at Rodolla, RODOLLA. Or you can find me on Instagram at A Room Full of Colors, ARFO Colors, spelled Canadian, COLOURS, because I am Canadian. I'm a skater boy and a hockey boy.
Trace.
Bro, from the bottom of our collective hearts,
Let's go.
we started
the world.
season
No.
two.
If you're gonna sing that, then we have to rock.
We started season 2 with Chaclair. And
Hold
ending-
on. Time out. So that was the other circle member you guys were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, watch this. So the next time Shocks comes here, me and Shocks.
Okay.
That's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yo, if you can set it up.
That's gonna be fucking crazy.
we
Okay.
That's gonna be
I'm
fucking
gonna
crazy.
say it from now. If
and some.
okay,
No, we gotta.
okay, for Socks, I might have to send him like a lobster tail, and
We
then
gotta.
maybe he'll
We
come.
gotta get. Listen.
Well, you and Chocolate would be dope. But
That'd
we
be
was trying to
crazy.
get something. The three of y'all.
Yeah, and we're all East Side. We're all Scarborough, so it's like
Yeah.
it only makes sense. You know what I mean?
We was side though, Rexdale.
Hey,
Don't
hey,
listen.
watch this. my new single has reference to my West Side connection because I was
Okay.
actually born in the West Side.
Okay.
What's that?
Junior Finch.
Okay.
I was born in the belly of the bottom,
Yo,
Okay.
right? And then I moved. Then my parents moved to Malvern,
Okay.
Scarborough,
Okay.
which is the belly
Of the
of
East.
of the East.
Yeah.
Okay, and just before things were getting hot, before my parents didn't even know what hot meant, we transitioned and we moved to the burbs.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing when it comes to that. Some people may want to look down at people that may have been born in the burbs or may have transitioned into the burbs. But guess what?
Still have the
But guess what? Everybody wants a better life, and everybody wants a sense of what it means to not have fucking sirens blaring every
Yo,
fucking
true.
midnight.
Everybody
or
wants a
whatever.
room full of colors.
To me, that's
Okay.
the actual answer to what the music is today. The reason why it sounds like today. Because
Exactly.
these are the kids that we said we don't want them to live like us.
Right.
Right.
So they're not going to talk that gangster shit because they've never seen it.
Exactly.
And they-
Right.
And why would you want them to see
Right.
it anyways? Because
My son, I had to sit down. I go, yo,
okay,
when a man reaches for his hip and touches his hip,
Get the fuck out of here.
okay, watch
he's like, what does that mean? I'm like, that
Get the
means
fuck
get
out
the
of
fuck
there.
out of there.
But watch this. But in the same sense, for me, in my own personal space, I'm like, yo, thank you, Lord, that he doesn't
Know that.
know that,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he still has to know street shit,
Smart, yes.
right? Because I
Need
got
to
a
be
daughter.
prepared.
I got a daughter, right? And trust me when I tell you, everybody on here, trust me when I tell you, she's gonna walk like a man. See?
That's how I raise my niece.
You're not gonna be able to like.
That's how I raise my
You're not
niece.
gonna be able to like freaking like talk to her on no fool thing. See?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the street things, she's gonna know wagwan. And then when it comes to the like, she's gonna magnitude that,
Yeah.
right? Because myself and her mother is training her on that pristine level.
Yeah.
We're training her on what I would call
First of all, you're precise.
yeah. I would call it presidential Rolex level.
Woo!
Right?
Oh.
That presidente.
We're on Rolodex level.
That presidente.
Rolodex level means that you don't really sit your kids in front of the TV 24 hours.
Is that the Rolodex or the Rolodollar?
No, it's Rolodex. Rolo dollar, or whatever you want to call it, is singular. I'm talking universal.
I found that, but I think a lot of people even know that Rolodollar level because some of them need to roll that dollar to get that Rolex.
No,
No.
they just gotta be honest with themselves.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Once you're honest with yourself, once you're honest with yourself, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Okay. Here's a fact. No different than on the come up when I was wearing pink shirts and this and that.
Yeah.
I fully heard it within the music industry and just in public. Oh, gay.
Yeah.
Stupid.
You knew where it was going.
Now, if you don't have what I was rocking back when I was 22, you're not manly,
First of all, yo,
right?
I remember my boy.
You're recognized as,
Dollar.
oh, you don't have the scope of
Yeah.
being
Dollar.
a human.
Dollar. First of all,
Full blown blossom,
my boys,
right?
my
I've
boys who
been
ace.
exfoliating my face.
Yo, my boys who I know who are watching.
What is it called?
Olive Olay?
Yeah.
Twice
Yo,
a day.
I've
first of
been doing that.
Yo,
I've
first of all,
been doing
watch
that.
this, watch this.
I've been doing that, bro.
I don't know my boys watching right now. When my boys usually chimes in, I remember I picked up a RP55 side bag.
Yeah.
One day.
RP55 was the
Yeah,
shit.
Right?
What was our
In 99,
Was
Yeah, no,
2000.
2001, I picked up
RP55 was the
side
shit.
bag, right? My brother, my boy, they'd be like, yo, why you rocking a purse? I'm like, it's a bag. They're like, no, it's a purse. I'm like, no, stupid, it's a fucking bag. Okay?
Now watch
Now,
this.
fast forward to now, one of my boys who was clowning me all in 2001 wears nothing but fucking side bags.
Exactly, because they're following the leader.
I'm the leader. Follow the leader.
Hold on, keep it going. I'm just gonna take
Follow
on.
the leader. Follow the leader.
Keep it going.
Yo, there's so much shit that is going on in this
Let me tell you
episode.
something. This episode, we didn't anticipate it being the way it is. And we've had a lot of jewels dropped in this episode. It is the last episode.
Let's keep going. It's live.
It's the last episode. You know, yo, you know what he reminds me of? Yo, you know what's funny?
Yo,
You know what this episode
how did
reminds
you
me of?
do this guy?
Hold on. You know what this?
Wait,
You know-
hold on. Isn't this what live is supposed to be about?
Yo, this guy's still watching right now.
Yo, you know what this reminds me of? Mindbender's episode.
Oh yeah.
This is all.
He's
This
a porn star.
Yeah, Mindbender, Malcolm Lovejoy.
Yo, shout out to Mindbender. He's a rude one.
Malcolm Lovejoy is his name.
He's a
Yo, Mindbender is one of my good friends. I love that dude. Yo, Mindbender is the fucking like.
Yo, this episode reminds me of the Mindbender episode because Mindbender had so much stories to tell,
Yo,
and there's only so much time we have on the episode.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh,
like
no.
you have to-
Because we're live.
Remind me of no, wait, no, say, no, not
Before we get a chance to or whatever, shotclubpodcast.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. We appreciate you guys for always being with us, sticking through, thick and thin, from episode 1, from season one. Sorry, my mind is gone right now. I'm trying to think of the platform.
What was the platform again? It was
Oh man,
shit.
no, it sounds fucked up like that. Something
The
.tv.
platform, no, it was Pocket Live.
Pocket Live.
Yes.
Shout out to Pocket Live,
Yes.
where we got our start. Shout out to Mo, who's not feeling well right now.
Don't
turn it off, don't turn
it off. I'm coming back.
No, we're not done. This is like a very rare occasion.
Yo, Dollar made us drink out the bottle. Dollar is like, yo, fuck this shit. I have not finished it. I got stories to tell you. Let's keep going. Yo,
What are the people saying? We got any more comments? Or?
Nah, nothing new. Yo, usually the episode, for those who've been watching since season 1,
Would have been done by now.
is when the bottle's done, the episode's finished. Right? But like, yo, when they want to give us energy, give us energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Bylong playing some mind bend in the background.
Watch this. We're doing some stadium 40,000 people type shit. Let's go. Let's go.
They call it encore right now.
Yeah, like we're on. Okay, perfect. We're on the encore level.
Oh, died.
Oh, mine died.
Starting that up.
Oh wow. See? Okay, so what's the next? What else?
That's an iPhone.
Let's go. What else?
So, okay. Now,
This
What do you think-
This is your time to rinse.
what do you think about the new artists today, right? And the new attitude today when it comes to artists like Tekashi? Where people are so quick
Oh,
to re-sign a
yo,
snitch, like a
yo.
super snitch.
Tekashi's a fuss. Right?
Yo, can you explain to those that
Who
may
don't
not
know
be
what
from
Fosse
Toronto,
means?
that don't know what that means?
No. You need to come to Toronto to the belly and find out what I'm going.
You didn't know what Fosse means.
Because if I said Fosse, all my man them in UK and they know what I'm going.
Yeah.
They know what I'm going. Okay, so
That's how you must find them.
okay.
Oh, that's a question.
Okay,
About
here's
slang. I got
Here's
that.
the thing. Okay, I'm not a street man, see?
Right.
But I know men that were in the streets, and I know how it was,
Right.
and I was trained on the street level,
Right.
right? So I wasn't involved, but I was trained,
Yeah.
right? In order to maneuver so I can survive, right? You're a Rexdale man, you know what it is. Like, no?
Why you hating? I'm Rex still through marriage.
I'm a Rexdale.
Okay, you're a Rexdale man.
He married a Rexdale woman, and he's
So
he's trying to get points off being from Rexdale
I'm Rex still through marriage.
because his woman is from Rex.
I'm Rex still through marriage.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of that?
No, wait.
Have you ever heard
Is
of that?
your
Wow,
wife?
we have kids.
Yo, is your wife from Malvern?
No, she's West.
Okay, so is she Malvern through marriage or
Yes.
She's Malvern through
Don't
marriage.
say you are.
No.
No, but watch it.
She's good in Malvern.
She's Malvern. She's East Side. She's out East Side through marriage.
She's good.
But she holds.
Good.
But she holds her West Side card
Exactly.
hard. She holds her West Side card hard.
I'm still summary, but
Like she throws up her West hard.
Rex still too.
Now, is that your connection to the West? Is wifey the connection to the West?
No, I have plenty connections with the West.
Okay.
But if we're talking intermediate life,
Yeah.
to transcend me for like years and years to come, yeah. Yes.
There you go. See,
Right?
I don't know.
I still don't give him that pass, man.
No,
I still don't give him that
He's
pass.
trying too hard. He's been trying too
Okay,
hard.
no, but what were we talking about? Like,
Takashi.
Takashi. Yeah, it's a Takashi. Here's the thing about the man. I don't wish for him to be in this predicament. I don't wish any man to be in this predicament, right?
Right.
But streets tell you, right? This is Street Code 101, like first chapter. Anybody watching this is Street Code 101, first chapter. First chapter states that if you're going to enter the life, you need to understand what the life contains and what comes with it. And you can't turn like a foxy when shit hits the fan. That's his basic principle.
But should in life, except somebody just coming in.
100%.
Godfather, Goodfellas,
100%. Boys
Blah,
to men.
whatever you want,
Menace to
boys in the
society.
whatever you want to call.
Bro, like,
Look back at the fucking footage, bro. The footage told you that if you're in that life, there's only two things that's gonna happen, and it will never change. It will never, ever change. It's either death or jail. One of the two. You either live within it or you don't. Right? So that's why all the mandem that grew me and blossomed me onto that level, they all told me, they're like, yo, bro, even if you wanted to like sling over here on a 1-2, guess what? Fix your quota, bro. You need to have okay, this is another exclusive it's another exclusive. Fix your quota. Have a quota in place.
Yeah.
So if it's like, I'm gonna do things on the side to get a house and you wanna put 60,000 down, put it right. So put like maybe a 20,000 on top of that. So you have a floater.
Yeah.
But you have the 60 to do whatever and get out, bro. Get out. Whatever you can't think Scarface because that is like unrealistic.
Scarface in the end,
And street man don't run with the fucking money that the real man run with. So like get out of shit, right? The real man that like dress up in whatever, and they never get catch or whatever. We all know what those type of men them are, right? Those are the men that can juggle. We're on the totem pole where we can't juggle, so you have to fix a quota, right? So if it's like, yo, I'm 20,000 in debt, I'm gonna sell some things. Let me sell some things for 6-7 months, whatever it equals.
Yeah.
Boom, and out. Because there's only two things that's gonna happen to you. In every transaction, you're in line of fire to get cash. That's just the rules. That there has never been. Okay, so watch this. Any street man that has. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. But certain But like, if you're a street man and you're trying to like do certain things, just look at your predecessors, right? And look at what the repercussions were, and you will understand that you have to fix the quota. So what I was learned on is if worse comes to worse, I have to fix the quota, and the quota has to be in a fast proximity. It can't be like year, 2-3 years. Like, yo, if I need a 10 G's, I gotta like calculate that within a month, 2 months, because I can't stretch 10 G's for 5, 6, 7 months. That's gonna put me in line of fire to get catch.
Right.
So I have to make it the one-shot deal and be out. I have to do a quick in and out. I have to like dance. I have to be like, I have to samba. I
I feel like I gotta tell people, we're not telling you guys to get into the game.
We're not telling you. Listen,
we're not giving you.
we're not telling you to get in the game. But for anybody that's in it,
for reference,
for anybody that's in it, or for anybody that knows someone that's in it, just please tell them. Fix a quota. Get a quota involved and don't surpass the quota. Okay, no, it's no different than a stripper, right? My first single,
with a stripper.
You changed, right? So the second verse was based on a homegirl that I knew. she's a good girl, whatever, but she did that on the side for whatever, right? The rules of engagement still apply, even if you're a stripper, right? You still have to fix a quota. Like you still have to say, I'm doing this for certain. Like you know what, certain strippers, I'm doing this just to pay my way for school, or just to whatever.
Yeah.
That's a quota.
Or they trying and take.
Right, that's a quota. You have to fix a quota because there's only two sides of the coin, and neither side of the coin is positive. So you don't want to make yourself vulnerable and be out there. You just want to do a little bit and boom, and back in the dark. Right? Back in the dark, you do what you gotta do, you settle what you gotta settle, and you're out of that life.
That's a cool question.
Hey!
That's a cool question. Final question?
No, 10 more.
Quick question.
No more camera.
The ting. You say you need a ting in the studio, right? But I just said, yo, the stripper, some of them might be trying at ting. How many definitions of the word ting have in Toronto?
It's based on inflection of the thing. So
And
it's
it's
like
also based on what the conversation
because
was.
the conversation piece.
So how many definitions could the word ting
Infinite.
have?
Infinite.
So if I put yo,
Infinite.
ting on a shirt.
Infinite. I wouldn't even say it's a yacht thing or it's a West Indian thing. For us, it's a Toronto thing, and for Canada, for anybody who's embraced that culture, it's just a Canada thing. And it's a UK thing, it's a North American thing for anybody who wants to embrace the thing. My wife is Latina, she's Ecuadorian, she still embraces the ting mentality, right?
Yeah, she doesn't look Filipino at all.
She's Latin.
Right.
She doesn't look Filipino at all. There's a person I work with.
Right.
He says he's from Ecuador, and I look at him like, nah, motherfucker, you Filipino.
Right.
I ain't Filipino.
Yo, you should see her sister. Well, her sister-in-law is Colombian, but she looks like us. She's dark skin. That's another different segment.
That's a segment of the hot takes.
That's another segment.
Well,
All the hot takes.
we do have a lot to talk about, but that's going to be in season 5.
Season 5.
Okay.
When Dala
How-
comes
this
back.
right here-
Okay, how about this?
First of all, wait. Before you say that, Dala and Adam Bomb have been the only ones that say they need to be arrested on this show.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, watch this. Where is it? Where is it?
Right.
Because the last time I ran into Adam Baum was at Tona's video, right?
Okay.
Shout out to Tona, East Side. You don't know what it is.
So I'm scared to come on the show.
No. If I tell Tona, yo, Brethren.
He's the only one from NBS that hasn't been on this shit.
Tona, I'm putting you on blast right now. Come true, see?
That Adam Bomb.
We've had Adam Bomb.
Yeah. Rich kid, and those are your brethren, bro. Those are your brethren. Come through. Right? East End, no. I'm an East End man. I came through. Come through. Right? But he'll come through.
All right.
But what about Adam Bomb? Like the whole, okay, so watch this. I'm putting this on blast right now.
MBS The Circle.
This season 5 or whatever, is gonna be me and Adam Bomb. There's gonna be one segment,
And then you
and then
Shot
Claire.
Woo!
Okay.
Okay.
Hold
Hold
on. And whatever I say is what wants.
Let's go.
So as long as Adam Bomb is cool with it, you already
Gatekeeper
know.
right here.
Done.
Gatekeeper. The gatekeeper.
Shot Claire, aka Kareem, has no other choice. See?
Check it out, y'all.
The
On that
gatekeeper
note-
has spoken, motherfucker.
On that note,
Fuck off,
ladies
motherfucker.
and gentlemen, I want to
Yeah.
say 4 seasons in, from the first episode to right now.
It's been a wave, bro.
It's gone.
It's been a wave, bro.
Whether it was Pocket Live, whether it was Max Now, whether it's right here on chocolatepodcast.com, like share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. We want to say thank you for supporting us. This is the last episode
we
of season 4 and of 2019.
Hold on. Don't continue doing your things. We're gonna do it like we're live, right?
Yeah, we live.
So we're gonna be live and we're gonna
And
direct, bro.
we're empty, bro.
Oh,
We're
shit.
empty, man.
Okay, so I'm coming back.
We're empty. We're legit empty.
On behalf of Mo Littles, DJ Bylon, David Solomon, Cheza, of course, Rodala,
The wifey.
myself,
Wifey that's over
I
there.
want to say thank you because you've always been there for us.
Don't forget Eggy.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me know one thing. On behalf of myself, on behalf of Eggy Azalea, and everybody that's tuned in, especially casual fan, we still going. Thank you. We appreciate you. We'll see you in season 5. Have a Merry Christmas.
2020.
Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. Keep your livers correct. Because in April, we back.
Toronto, we're here, bro. We back, bro. Back. Woo! A room full of color, Fly Crown, Iceberg. Y'all stay tuned. We out.